Charlotte, and as we zoom in, you can kind of check in on your local area. You might be hearing some loud thunder right now. Stokes has some lightning strikes, Forsyth does too. Your temperatures, though, in this part of the triad, I think are still too cool to be all that severe. So this is going to be loud. It's going to rain really heavily, but I'm not that concerned for Forsyth, Yadkin, Surrey, or Stokes. Now, farther south, this is a different story. You see these storms that have this little bending to them? I'm going to watch those very carefully. We're in Davie County. There's Moxville right there. This is Lexington. Over here in Rowan County, these type of cells have me a little concerned. And as you go down toward Charlotte, you see what I mean. These little echo, we call them a bow echo. It really looks like a bow and arrow, right? That curved structure, that can sometimes be the leading edge to damaging wind gusts, or even in today's case, possibly a spin-up tornado, one of those that can form really quickly. So we're going to be watching the counties of Davidson, Randolph, Montgomery, Chatham, Southern Alamance, Southern Guilford the most. Why? Look how warm you are. You're close to 70 degrees down there, and that will allow for severe storms to be possible. Not a guarantee, but it's possible. And yes, there could be a tornado in some of those. The good news is you're already watching the news. We're going to keep you up to this minute informed. If there are any tornado warnings for the area, we're going to be on constantly until that threat passes. We generally think the triad is looking at 3 to 6 o'clock. A little bit later than that, you can go farther to the east.
The FEMA-supported vaccination clinic in Greensboro has suspended those drive-through vaccinations earlier today because of this threat of severe weather. So people had the option to take their appointment at the very same time at the indoor clinic or simply to just reschedule. So if you need to reschedule, you'll need to call a specific number. We've got it on the screen for you right now, 888-675-4567. Again, it is on the screen. Take a shot with your phone. If you got a pen handy, let's write it down, 888-675-4567. Now, if you get put on hold, which is a possibility, don't stress out. You will eventually get to someone who can reschedule your appointment to a later date.
Well, COVID vaccines are now available to part of Group 4 in North Carolina, and that includes pregnant women. But since the beginning, there have been questions about if the vaccine is safe for them. I spoke to a triad doctor to get clear answers.
I think it's a pretty clear, yes, it is safe to get the vaccine. We vaccinated now thousands and thousands of people, and we have not seen any adverse complications of the vaccine in pregnant patients over any other patient. But I think more importantly is the why of getting the vaccine.
So let's talk about that why. Dr. Carolyn Hayaway-Smith says pregnant women have a higher chance of complications from the virus, and because of that, it is vital for them to get the vaccine even more than it is for women who are not pregnant. Still, some women worry about how safe it is for their baby. Dr. Hayaway-Smith says the vaccine actually might be a good thing for them, especially after a mom who had one dose of the Moderna vaccine gave birth to a baby girl who had COVID-19 antibodies.
But we do think that there may be some protection to the fetus when the mother is vaccinated. Now, we can't say that 100%, so I don't want to say that that is the case, but we're seeing evidence that that might be the case and more to come on that.
So we are still learning a lot about this virus, but one thing Dr. Hayaway-Smith is confident about is that the vaccine does not cause infertility. She says the current vaccines do not contain a live virus or anything that affects the nucleus of a cell like an egg or a fetus. She adds the vaccine material leaves your body within 20 to 30 days.
Well, the U.S. is on the verge of reaching 100 million COVID-19 vaccine shots. That would be weeks ahead of President Biden's goal of doing that in his first 100 days. Testifying before a Senate panel, Dr. Anthony Fauci says the vaccine rollout is going well, but warns this virus is still spreading in the U.S.
We are doing a good job now, up to 2 to 3 million vaccinations per day. Literally every day that goes by and more people get vaccinated, we can stay ahead of what I would consider a race between our ability to vaccinate people and the emergence of variants.
The Biden administration also making a big push to get kids back in schools for in-person learning. The White House also announced plans to spend $10 billion on COVID screening and testing in schools.
Let's take a look at your 4 to 5 roundup now. Anyone who needs a ride to their COVID-19 vaccine appointment can get a free one in Guilford County. You just need to make an appointment through the county health department, either online or over the phone. But if you choose to schedule an appointment online, they'll give you another number to call to get your free ride. We have all the details for you on our website. Europe's top drug regulator has not found a direct link between the AstraZeneca vaccine and a small number of blood clots reported in people across the continent. More than a dozen countries stopped giving out the vaccine over the last week in an effort to build public trust. There is no word yet on when countries might start using it again. The number of Americans filing for first-time unemployment benefits rose unexpectedly last week. About 770,000 people applied, according to the Labor Department. It's an increase of 45,000 from the week before. Layoffs continue despite the overall job market showing improvement. 379,000 jobs were added the last month. That's the most since October. And new research says it may be safe to reopen schools even if students are separated 3 feet apart instead of 6. A study looked at schools in Massachusetts that have used the 3-foot guideline for months now. The CDC is looking into the data to see if it is safe. In Illinois, health officials said last week that students can be seated 3 feet apart as long as their teachers are vaccinated. We'll be right back.
I'm here.
All right, folks, quiet morning across the Triad, but things could get busy as we go throughout the rest of the afternoon. What we're watching is this line of storms starting to push through the foothills and into the Triad. We can zoom in a little bit closer on this and show you. My graphics aren't flipping here, so let me step out of the camera just a moment and get that working for you. But we are watching that and keeping an eye on this line of storms as it crosses from the foothills into the Triad. And what we're going to be watching as it gets closer, it's going to be running into some warmer air that we've had in place, especially to the south and east. Places like Forsyth County, Winston-Salem, Surrey County, Mount Airy, and also places up in Stokes County. They have stayed a little bit cooler today, so we're not worried as much about those places. But southern Guilford County, Randolph County, Davidson County, you guys could be under the gun over the next few hours as this line of storms approaches and runs in to that layer of warmer air. Notice we're keeping this severe weather threat in the forecast through about 6 or 7 o'clock tonight for the triad. And then as the storms start to push east, we'll see our severe weather risk start to come to an end. So continue to watch mainly that timing from now until about 6 p.m. for the triad. Bottom line, know that safe spot and know where you're going to go in case warnings get issued, and we'll be on top of it for you. If a tornado warning is issued, we'll be on TV until that threat is over.
So you've probably heard the term going green. Of course, a lot of you may be doing that in your own life. Businesses are no different. Companies all across the globe, they're doing their best to cut down on the carbon footprint they leave behind. WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey caught up with one local vineyard. They're taking this to the next level.
You're absolutely right. Raleigh Vineyards in Moxville has been a local treasure since 1999. The team's goal is to find the most efficient ways to do sustainable agriculture. And what's more sustainable than producing and using your own solar power?
Plugged it directly into the building, so all the energy we were making, we were utilizing into the building.
Raleigh Vineyards makes and uses their own power, and they've been doing it for some years now.
I believe we are one of the only solar farms or solar wineries, vineyard wineries in the East Coast.
By doing this, the team at Raleigh cut down on their carbon footprint tremendously.
This was one step towards that. We can kind of cut, the carbon emissions by our use of electricity.
Cutting back on emissions and cutting back on the electric bill at the same time.
It did cut our expenses by about 30% on that initial installation.
But this move was more about the environment and not their bottom line.
So, those $5 and $6 and $7 bottles of imported wines have a huge carbon footprint compared to what we're trying to do.
And from what I've seen on Instagram, this is one of the most beautiful parts of the triad, and I actually plan on making a reservation for next weekend to enjoy the sights and of course the refreshments as well.
Maddie's already laughing because he's never been anywhere. We got to get you out, Jalen. That is a really nice place though. I've been there.
So you're telling me I need to drink wine to help the environment?
That's what I'm getting from this.
That's what he's saying.
That's what I heard.
I mean, in support of local agribusiness, because that's a big deal here in North Carolina, agribusiness.
It is, and every time we talk about going green, I always go back to Proximity Hotel, they kind of set the standard in North Carolina for hotels, and now we have this example. That's great, Jalen. They're doing great work there.
And like you guys know, I haven't been anywhere, but I'm checking this one off my list next weekend.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Come on, T, you got to believe him. You got to have some faith.
You better take pictures, or it didn't happen.
Exactly what I was about to say.
Can do, will do.
Okay.
That's perfect. Thank you, Jalen. All right, 4 to 5 continues in just a minute. Stay there.
Facebook.
Dude, why hasn't he been anywhere? What are you doing?
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Hi, Facebook. Aren't we lucky to have Tanya here today? Yay!
Roll around so you
go
can see.
that way.
Hey, hey, hey. We're trying to stay socially distanced and all that jazz, right?
Tanya's here. She's looking fierce in her cheetah print.
As always.
I can't even do that. I can't even do that.
look-
Anybody else do that? Good.
Tanya, how many, all I'm thinking is how long have you been here and how long have you been in this market total?
Oh, wow. So been here since 2000.
Okay, wow.
Yep, and been here since 2002.
Love it. All right, Facebook, we'll be
amazing.
right back with more weather.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We're kind of changing now. Much of the day so far has been, hey, nothing's happening. That's the good part. Now things are going to start happening. However, it's still an open question whether or not we just see loud and noisy thunderstorms that aren't too damaging, or do some of these, and none of them have warnings right now, but do some of these turn severe, or even do some of them start to produce a tornado? They're really lighting up now, and you can see like on this loop, you go back a couple of hours, really was a smaller line. Now it's become a bit more potent, and we're starting to see it really light up the radar with several lightning strikes. Here's how I see it right now. Martinsville, just rain for you, plenty of heavy rain in Stokes, similar in northern Forsyth. I'm not too worried about you because you're so cool up here. More on that in a second, but these storms are starting to move into Kernersville. It's going to rain very heavily. You could have some gusty winds, maybe over 40 miles per hour. And to the south, this is where I get a little bit more concerned. From Davidson County to southern Davie down to Rowan County too. This is the torrential rain, but also some of these storms have more warmth to work with. And if they're able to start to spin a little bit, that's when we get concerned about tornadoes. I'm not seeing that yet, which is a good news. If they can maintain a line, usually storms that move in a line, it's harder for them to spin on their own. If they get out and separate a little bit and they're on their own, they can act independently. They can spin. That can be more concerning. So let's try and keep this in a line. But the concerning thing is, look how warm it is in Asheboro now. It's 70 degrees, it's 63 in Lexington. I think once we get into these counties, Montgomery, Randolph, southern Guilford, southern Alamance, Chatham, you have a bigger risk of severe weather than the rest of our area. You see, it's only in the low 50s in Winston-Salem. That's a big difference. And so the cooler you are, the lower chance of having storms. And take a look, it's clear as day. Low 50s here, low 70s there, all within a 30-mile drive from Asheboro to Winston. Take a look here on the cameras. You can see Greensboro's cleared out a little bit. Not sunshine, but it's cleared. Winston-Salem still socked in the fog. So you're going to be fine in Winston. Just deal with that heavy rain. No matter what you see, whether they stay just strong or get severe, they will be moving out. This is the 6 o'clock estimated radar. Then by 7 and 8 o'clock, we're done. You can hang out, rest easy at that point. So I really think they're arriving over the next hour and a half, and then by, let's say 8 o'clock, we can sound the all clear across much of the area. What you should still do if you haven't already, reassess where would you go if we say tornado warning for your neighborhood. You gotta have that safe spot ready to go and make sure you're ready to take action right away. I'd put on shoes too. We say that a lot, put on shoes. Why would you do that? Well, it can actually be helpful if you had damage in your area. If you see anything noteworthy and you can safely take a picture, you can text it to us. That's probably the easiest way to do. You text it right to that phone number on your screen, 379-5775. 7-day forecast. We'll talk more about this once the storms get a little bit quieter. Tomorrow is cloudy and cool. High temperatures are in the upper 40s. I'll tell you what. There could even be a snowflake in the northeast counties. That's no fooling. That's the truth. Not a big deal, though. It's just fun. Saturday, Sunday, clouds? No, pretty much just sunshine, but the mornings will be a bit frosty. Keep in mind, you still can't plant stuff. We're going to have more of those frosts next couple weeks.
It's time to verify. You've probably heard the old maritime tale. Red sky at night, sailors delight. Red sky in the morning, sailors take warning. So when the sky turns green, is a tornado what that means? With the threat of severe weather this spring, we need to verify. Our sources for this are meteorologist Taran Kirksey and the Cooperative Institute for Meteorological Satellite Studies. Does a green colored sky mean a tornado is coming? Our sources agree the answer can be true. A green cloud is generally deep, meaning there's a lot of water and hail. A severe storm is imminent, not necessarily a tornado. But what explains the green color?
A lot of times when you see the green skies during the afternoon hours, so you have the rain and you have the hail, the big raindrops as well, and the sunlight coming in at that low angle that you get in the afternoon just kind of filters out the colors and makes it look a little more green. If you're going to have a tornado, it's going to come out of a really strong thunderstorm that has large hail.
So don't rely on the sky as a foolproof tornado predictor, but do pay attention to what you see and check your News 2 app for weather alerts in your area. If you have a verifying query, submit a post, screenshot, or selfie video of the claim to my Facebook page, Mega Malaris News, or email or tweet me. Let me get your questions verified.
Hey, mic check, this is Sean. I'm at my desk, you know, just living life, receive, operating, and being live, so gotta have a tool belt.
Such cute kids. Sean. Sean, how's Lincoln? We were wondering if he was going to make a cameo today.
Not today.
Aw.
No, sorry.
It's okay.
He's at school.
He just, you know, your stories are great, but Lincoln makes them so much better.
It's so true.
So true. How are you? I haven't seen you in a year. In real life,
I
that
know,
is.
it's been a while.
Yeah. Holding up? Family's good?
You know, family's good.
Good.
That's what matters.
It's a good perspective, Sean. We
Okay,
miss
good.
you.
I miss being there. I'm gonna get my vaccine and I'm gonna come back.
It's what happens when you're a parent. They all start asking about your children and not you, Sean.
Oh yeah,
So-
we don't care about Sean
That's right.
anymore. We
That's
just
what
care about
happens.
the kids.
Well, they don't care about me either. They care about my dog. And that's okay.
That's right. Dog's cute. That is a big dog.
70 pounds.
70?
Kona is 70 pounds.
Wow.
That's a big dog.
Chocolate
Yes,
lab.
She's a
She's
chocolate,
a chocolate lab.
with green eyes.
She's
really
very
pretty.
pretty.
That's a,
I got a friend who's got a dog that's 125 pounds.
I mean,
that's not a dog.
when
Yes, it
the
is.
dog
It's a bear.
pulls and they're that big, like, I'm not keeping them.
You got to have that iron grip.
That's for sure.
Iron grip.
Okay.
They'll take little Tanya for a ride.
70 pounds.
70 pounds. That's a big dog still.
She saw a rabbit yesterday.
Oh,
Oh, she
Lordy.
took off.
I just let the leash go.
So this
There's
is-
no way she
no.
would drag me.
No, she
Yeah,
would.
this is why I have a cat.
Get some rollerblades.
That and I don't have to take him outside to use the bathroom. We'll be right. March Madness is nearly here. You have until just before noon tomorrow to get your brackets filled in for the 2021 tournament. And whether you're picking the favorites or a Cinderella team to win it all, WFMY News 2's Sean Higgins has the perfect tips to fill out a winning bracket.
1 in 9.2 quintillion. That's 17 zeros. Those are your chances of picking a perfect bracket. I can't help you beat those odds, but I do have some tips that'll help you build a better bracket, and you just might win your bracket pool. Wait until after the first 4 to finalize and submit your picks. The 16 seed playing games won't matter much, but historically the other first 4 games have. Since 2011, when the field expanded, one of the winners of the first 4 won their next game in every year except 2019, with 3 of those teams making it to the Sweet 16 and VCU making it to the Final 4. Picking before you know what teams are playing puts you at a disadvantage, so wait until those first 4 games shake out. Don't go upset crazy. The underdog stories and the upsets are part of what makes this the best sporting event of the year, but the reality is they just don't happen that frequently. For the last 9 tournaments, teams that are seeded between 10 and 16 have won an average of just 7 games in the first round. Upsets will happen, but you want to try and limit those upset picks to around 8 in the first round and stay away from the rare 16-1. UMBC is the only team to ever pull it off. It's okay to be boring. Everybody wants to have that team that nobody saw coming in their Final 4, but the real goal is to have as many teams alive as possible in the later rounds. Since 2000, a number 1 seed has made it into the Final 4 in 18 out of 20 tournaments, and multiple 1 seeds have made the Final 4 in 9 of them. It may not be flashy, but picking at least one number 1 seed to advance to the Final 4 is always a safe bet.
Everybody wants the Cinderella.
Eric and
but
Maddie, I've got one question for you guys. How far do you have UNC going in this tournament?
Oh.
Okay,
Well,
so
go ahead.
I'll go because I always have UNC winning the national championship. And I know that that's not a good possibility. I'm not going to win the bracket pool with that, but I feel like a bad fan if I don't have them winning it all.
That's why
This year you have them winning it all?
I always have them winning
That
it
I
all
do
since
too.
I've been filling out a bracket.
That's why I
Blind
don't
loyalty.
fill out brackets anymore.
And I don't put money on my brackets for that reason.
That's exactly right.
That's a good way to counter that. That's a good way to counter.
Jalen, you said Illinois?
Oh, yeah. I got Illinois, Io DeSue, and the boys going all the way. You know, I'm a Midwestern guy. I've always loved Illinois back when they had D. Brown. That was back in, well, not too far in the day, but back in the day for me.
that was half a day.
Back in half a day. But I love Illinois and what they're bringing to the table, the energy and the effort that they're playing with. They're real hot. I got the Illini going all the way.
Sean, don't you think?
I agree with.
Don't you think that like it's always that 8 to 11 seeds in each bracket? That's the hard one to pick.
Yeah, the 8-9. I mean, that's essentially a wash. And then for some reason, those 11 seeds just always give those 5 seeds trouble. You can just, or the 6 seeds trouble. You could just throw a dart on the board. Really, there's no way to predict which team is going to win.
I always do one bracket that I think is good, and then every year, this is tradition, I call my dad. And I'm like, Dad, let's talk it through. And he tells me what he thinks, and I tell him what I think, and we kind of like do a bracket together as father and daughter.
I got a question for you this year, Tanya. How far you got your Gators going?
Hey, I got them winning the first game.
See?
All right, fair enough.
The first game.
Oh, not the whole thing.
I'm realistic.
You're not crazy like us.
I am realistic.
There's the real world, and then there's the world I live in.
Yeah, me too.
Right.
Me too. Because I just can't allow myself to write down that my team gets beat. So that's why I don't do it. I'll do a bracket, but there's no money involved. That'd be like.
Yes.
At least y'all don't have to put Duke advancing anywhere, right?
But
Oh, wow. You know who I feel sorry for? Georgia Tech. Jalen, you and I were talking about that because their star is out with COVID, so he's going to miss 1 or 2 games.
At least 2 games.
At least 2 games. That's right.
unfortunate.
So we're going to pull for them hard.
ACC Player of the Year.
I was about to say, but don't we think that they're good enough to advance through the first 2?
You would think. I mean, yes. I would say yes, but we'll see.
Okay.
Pulling hard for them.
Sean's like,
Sean disagrees.
I just want to see UNCG
Yes.
win a couple
Absolutely.
games. Honestly, they can win it all.
That would be awesome.
They can win it all. Like
your bracket.
UNCG and Carolina, I don't even know if that's possible with the way the bracket lines up. National championship game. That's what my bracket's going to look
We'll
like.
pull for Wes Miller. All right, we're going to go to break. We'll be right back. Stay there. And hello, Facebook friends.
Hey.
Tim Buckley is to my left.
Hello.
Tanya Rivera to my right. Oh, hi. Wait,
hey,
we're
Maddie,
taking selfies.
can you turn around for just a second?
Stop working.
Hey, Facebook, take this picture for us.
Yeah, can you take a picture for us, Facebook?
It's
Ready?
true.
1, 2, 3. Hello,
true.
here we are.
Hello.
Where's this camera?
It's a group
I don't
picture,
even-
Brad.
It's a group picture,
Brad,
not a
Brad
Maddie
has,
picture.
he has a favorite.
Golly.
He has a favorite. Y'all just accept it. Here
Just
I
get
am.
used to it.
Okay, so now he's got it, right?
I think we should be good.
Wait, whoa,
Oh.
I didn't get it. Did
Second
you get
Brad
it?
is ridiculous.
Okay,
Silver.
ready.
You got second place.
Silver?
Yeah, silver.
Okay.
Look at Jay.
Silver medal.
I'm going back
You
to
were
my
there.
spot.
Cheese medal?
Sorry, Facebook, we tried.
I don't remember the
cheese
last
police.
time I saw 6 people open up a show.
No.
I don't think is that, I mean, in studio,
does
I don't
this-
think
We're
that
setting
has ever happened.
Guinness World Records. It's
With
fine.
social distancing guidelines followed.
That's right.
That's pretty
Where are you
wild.
going to be?
Bye,
Bye-bye,
Facebook.
Bye, Facebook.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the 4 to 5. 30 more minutes coming up here. Eric Chilton, joined by Maddie Gardner, Tanya Rivera, Christian Morgan, Tim Buckley, Jalen Gilkey.
All the people.
Did we get it?
We got them
I
all.
think you did it.
Oh, yeah.
Got them all. Make sure you head over to Facebook to chat with us on the live stream throughout the show.
Absolutely, and we chat with you not only in the comment section, but they pull up our microphones during the break, and you really never know what is going to be said
We'll
or
apologize
done.
ahead of time.
It's a lot of fun. But we are on top of that big weather day here in the Triad, the threat of some severe storms. Let's get right to meteorologist Christian Morgan. What's the latest?
Yeah, Maddie, I tell you what, so far today, things have been pretty quiet in the Triad, but that is changing a bit as we head through the rest of the afternoon and into the evening hours. Notice this line of rain and thunderstorms that we're watching moving out of the foothills now and starting to make its way into the Triad. You can see that line all the way up from the North Carolina-Virginia border, stretching all the way down to near Charlotte. And if we zoom in on a closer view, you can see places like Mount Airy and Stokes County, Forsyth County, really not so much worried about you guys as we are our folks down to the south. Notice how much lightning is in these storms in places like Lexington and Davidson County, and some lightning even starting to show up in places like Forsyth County. But this is all moving through the Triad over the next few hours. And let me show you why we're concerned about those southern counties. This is pretty unmistakable. Cooler air, still near 50 up to our northwest, but notice in places like Asheboro, over in Burlington, down to Albemarle and Troy, temperatures are in the upper 60s to near 70, and as those storms progress to the east and run into that warmer air, it will be much easier for those storms to become severe. So that's what we're going to be watching. Notice a closer view here as we go through in time. You see all these reds and pinks starting to show up on the radar. That's what we're worried about, those storms beginning to intensify over the next few hours as this line pushes through the Triad. By about 6 or 7 o'clock, we're pretty much done with the severe weather threat here in the Triad. So continue to stay vigilant, continue to stay weather aware for the next few hours. But once we get into the early evening hours, we should be done with that severe weather threat. Main things we're going to be watching for if any of these storms do become severe is the threat for damaging high winds. We also still have a tornado threat, and we can't rule out some large hail with these storms either. So that's what we're going to be watching. Bottom line, continue to pay attention to the forecast and know that safe spot, know where you're going to go if tornado warnings are issued. And if they are, we'll be on TV for you all the way through until that threat is over.
A rainy day like today is usually a really welcome sight for anyone who suffers seasonal allergies. That would be me. But if you're looking for another way to beat the pollen, your mask actually might be the best tool. We have our verified team taking a closer look for you.
'Tis the season for allergy suffering, and with all that pollen floating around, you might be wondering if the mask you wear to prevent COVID spread could also double as a pollen blocker. So our question is, can masking help protect against seasonal allergies? For the answer, we go to the CDC and Novant Health's infectious disease specialist, Dr. David Priest. Turns out the pandemic protocol of masking is pretty handy, and not just for slowing the spread of COVID.
Our influenza numbers were very low, the lowest we've ever seen. And I think that was for a number of reasons. One is people mask.
So can those benefits apply to allergies?
I think that would be no different in this case, that individuals who wear a mask are going to be more protected from tree or grass or pollens that are out there as we get into the spring. And in North Carolina, that can be pretty brutal.
And the CDC agrees. It says one of the best ways to protect against seasonal allergies is to reduce exposure to pollen. It says masks can help by blocking larger particles from being inhaled. But it does say smaller particles could get through, so masks shouldn't be the only protection you rely on. By the way, if you have a reusable mask, you should already be washing it regularly, but for allergy sufferers, it's even more important since pollen could get stuck on there after each use. So we can verify masking can help protect against seasonal allergies, but for big allergy sufferers, you might want to pair it with another protective measure.
Let's take a look now at your 4 to 5 roundup. A Texas man was arrested outside of Vice President Kamala Harris's house in D.C. yesterday. Police found and arrested Paul Murray after finding him there with an AR-15 and unregistered ammunition. It is not yet known if Murray was trying to harm or contact the vice president or any member of her family.
The man accused of fatally shooting 8 people, including 6 Asian women in Atlanta area spas, was charged yesterday with 8 counts of murder. The suspected gunman, Robert Long, denied the attack was racially motivated, but officials said it was still too early to rule out a hate crime. Long's family helped catch him after Tuesday's attacks. They recognized him in surveillance footage posted on social media and alerted deputies. They tracked his cell phone.
And 21 state attorneys general are suing President Joe Biden after he rescinded the permit for the Keystone XL pipeline. The states argue that the president exceeded his authority when he ordered permits for the oil pipeline be revoked in January. The attorneys general argued that Congress set rules for the actions the president can take, and the president and his administration ignored those rules. The 4 to 5 is coming right back, but we are live throughout the break on our Facebook page. Join us. Hi.
Hello, Facebook.
Oh, that's not me. Oh, it is me.
Who is on the feed today?
It sounds like me, but I'm not really sure.
I didn't think my mic was up, but it is.
Diane, Bobby, Tamrika, Wanda, Cindy.
Is MD in there today?
My girl Gloria is here.
Is MD Moore? Because he had a very funny...
Miss Wanda.
Brad's mom is on
Brad's mom. Hey, Brad's mom.
Brad, put yourself on camera. Put yourself on camera so your mama can see you.
Yeah,
hey, Brad.
Yeah, hey, Brad's mom. Big hearts for Brad's mom.
This is exciting.
That was pretty cool.
I feel like there's a celebrity on our live stream.
Pam
Brad.
is a weather watcher. She's all
weather
into
spotter?
weather. Yeah, well, not technically, but she's all into it.
That's amazing.
She
Well,
used to be my
Pam,
neighbor.
Miss Lowry, we're glad to have you here. We're glad that your son is doing such a fantastic job with the show. Did you hear that I'm his favorite?
That's still debatable. To be debated.
To be debated.
You know, I did a live shot once in Blowing Rock, and that's where Brad's parents moved to. And his dad showed up at my live shot. Came up there.
That's hilarious.
Said,
Sounds
brought me
like
breakfast
something my mom would do.
Yes, so nice.
And for those of you who are wondering who Brad is, he is our director. So he is the reason why our camera shots come up, our microphones are up.
Or don't.
I say that. Why
Bald
the
eagle.
graphics and the video come up on the screen. He's pulling all the strings, pushing the buttons for those. Right?
What's everybody saying?
Yeah, absolutely
Maddie? I
right.
can't get over there to look.
What are people saying? Diane says, hello, everyone. Be safe. Love the show. Thanks, Diane. Pam says, we miss y'all up here in Blowing Rock. Cindy says, the phone says we're having a thunderstorm in Summerfield, but she hasn't seen anything just yet.
Miss Wanda says
we
it's
will
cloudy.
have a weather update for you soon.
It's
All
cloudy
right.
out in Burlington.
Bye, Facebook. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, Facebook.
Welcome back to your 4 to 5. North Carolina ranks among the best performing states on making sure everyone who is eligible for the vaccine knows that they can get one. And that thanks in part to a group of determined doctors. CBS's Jerika Duncan has their story.
Have you had any more thoughts about medications?
For psychiatrist Narissa Price, helping the most vulnerable on the streets of Raleigh, North Carolina is a calling.
I haven't seen you in a while.
Answering it more urgent than ever.
Why do you think the others aren't wearing masks?
They don't care.
With the rush to vaccinate those at greatest risk.
It just became so clear to me that this was going to be a population that was going to be ignored if I didn't do something about it.
They call themselves the Sister Circle.
1, 2, 3, good trouble!
6 African-American doctors from Wake Med Health chipping away at the vaccine inequities in North Carolina's hardest hit zip code.
We've watched people in our communities suffer. We've watched people die needlessly.
Dr. Rashida Monroe is a pediatrician who led the charge.
Would you say there are actually more people within African American communities that do want the shot and don't have access to it than those who are afraid of getting it?
Absolutely, and that's what we found. People were desperate for the vaccine. Easy breezy, right?
People like 77-year-old Mary Johnson.
And then here is your vaccination card.
Who tried for a month to schedule an appointment before connecting with the Sister Circle.
I'm so happy. It's going to make me cry. I feel safe.
And so does Cheryl Peoples-Ben. She lost her brother to COVID.
I just couldn't believe it when it happened. And I would just wish he was still here.
We'll do this in memory of him.
And God bless y'all for coming into the community to take care of people.
So far, the Sister Circle has given out 9,200 doses and vaccinated 8,200 at 17 churches.
It's not just about vaccines anymore. It's about looking at long-held healthcare disparities. And so my hope is that it doesn't stop with the vaccine and we just keep working until we have more equity when it comes to healthcare outcomes.
For these sisters, it's about redeeming the soul of America.
Folks, sorry to cut into that story, but it's important. We have a tornado warning now for parts of the Triad right now. We're looking at this storm in Lexington. Just a minute ago, I was noticing it had rotation on that storm, and right now the National Weather Service says there is, in fact, potential for a tornado. It's right here to the north of Lexington. I'm going to move my computer slightly over here, and let's take a look at it. We're in Lexington. Davidson County is where that storm is right now. This is a tornado warning until 5:30. So right now, 4:40, this warning goes for a while here. 5:30, we're looking at the storm basically just to the north side of Lexington and right here near Welcome. So bear with me, I'm going to kind of assess this on the fly here with you, but there is rotation with this storm and you can clearly see this. What I'm going to show you right now is I can zoom out a little bit more. We like to use our velocity mode. What I mean by that, it shows us how the wind is spinning within a thunderstorm. And what we're seeing right at this moment is that there is enough spinning motion right here. You can see it clearly. This is your spinning. So the blue indicating the wind going this direction, and then the other color, that darker green, indicating the wind going that direction. That's a swirling motion. And as we've been talking about all day long, the areas that got warmer in temperature, you would have the potential of maybe seeing some severe weather. And indeed, that looks to be the case. This is concerning to me right now. So that's where your storm is. Let's zoom in even a little bit closer. And then we'll talk about who else is in this warning. Excuse me, I don't want to zoom in too quickly there. We're looking at Interstate 85. Really, this is Business 85, I should say, near Old Greensboro Road. That's where that storm is coming in right now in Davidson County. It is moving toward Thomasville. So if you're in the path of this, look at how this storm is going to track. It's going to move up into northern Davidson County, and then eventually parts of Guilford, parts of Forsyth are potentially in the path of this storm as well. Well, let's put this on a loop so you can see it a little bit more clearly. Here we go. So over the last while, it's really been developing fairly significantly as it moves into Davidson, and now it's starting to move up closer to the border. Let's zoom in on a closer view. Again, we're right near Lexington, right near Thomasville, right near High Point. This is a tornado warning. No report of this on the ground yet, but I want you to get into your safe spot. If you are in Thomasville, if you're in northern Davidson specifically, I'll include Midway in that and Wahlberg as well, up toward High Point also. This storm is spinning right now. So the reason there's a tornado warning is that it's possible it could start to put down a tornado any minute if it hasn't already. Let's pause our radar, and I want to show you how this is going to be tracking over the next little bit. If we zoom out, you can see the path of this does continue to push it closer to Wahlberg and then eventually Kernersville. You would be on the line of fire from this as well. It's tracking, let me get the official speed from the National Weather Service. This storm is passing up until 5:30, as we know. But we want to see the actual text here. Possible to have a tornado within this storm. It's located 8 miles north of Lexington. It's moving to the north at about 50 miles per hour. So this is a quick mover, moving to the north at 50 miles per hour. So let's track this for you for some estimated arrival time. So if you're in Wahlberg, if you're in Kernersville, you got to be taking shelter right now. The storm is nearing Thomasville very quickly. My mouse is giving me trouble here, apologies. There we go. So here are some of your arrival times. Wahlberg, right around 4:51, that's 5 minutes. You got to get to that safe spot right now. Remember, we say basement is best. If you don't have that, get away from the exterior windows, get away from the exterior walls, go to a closet, a bathroom, anything that can put you with more barriers between yourself and the outside. That's going to help you out. Farther north we go, Union Cross, Kernersville. It's going to come right toward that split on Interstate 40, right where they used to call it Business 40 and Regular 40. That's where that's going to track, very close to the Guilford Forsyth County line. But let's zoom in a little bit closer to where the actual storm is right now. So we're looking at the center here, right really between Welcome and Thomasville. This is the area that is rotating so much right now, and it's moving to the north, moving to the east at about 50 miles per hour. So a very, very quick storm here. Let's switch back to the velocity mode so we can see how it's continuing to evolve. And we're still seeing that spinning area a little bit broader right now, but bottom line, the storm is still moving around. It is still spinning around. We're in a part of the triad that does not have good radar coverage. And what I mean by that is that we are not easily able to tell using just one source. So I want to switch our radar to actually go toward our Virginia radar and see if that shows anything differently. But bottom line, if you're in Thomasville, you got to be safe right now. Get to your safe spot. Let's take a look at the Raleigh radar. It's not going to give me a good view. That's not a good view. So really, we're looking at the spinning motion from our Virginia radar the most. And here's that storm. Honestly, guys, this could track a little farther east, so you are not in the all clear in High Point. You are not in the all clear even in Greensboro. This storm, it could track a little farther east than that line is suggesting. So all the way through 5:30 until we give you the all clear, if you are in southeast Forsyth, I don't think you need to worry in Winston-Salem, but if you're in southeast Forsyth, northern Davidson, I would even include this chunk of Randolph County, and then pretty much anywhere, let's say east or west of Greensboro, you got to pay attention to this storm. It is headed your way, and it's moving very, very quickly here. Very fast motion of this storm system, which is rotating. So some roads here: Highway 109, Business 85, Interstate 85. Let's go farther to the north in High Point and call out some roads as well. This storm is going to be moving near 68 in High Point. That's close to, the downtown area. You go over toward Interstate 74. This will be moving up closer toward the Palladium eventually as well. And then Jamestown, you could potentially be in the path of this also. We're tracking this together here. I'm going to switch back to radar, and then soon I'm going to switch over to Christian Morgan to see if he's heard any other reports from this storm system. But if you are in Thomasville, you're at the heart of this thing right now. If you're in Lexington, the worst of this should have been passing you by. But this storm, to me, I'm not the one issuing the warning, but to me, it does look like it's tracking a little farther east than this box was drawn. So I would very carefully be watching this in High Point, Jamestown, parts of western Greensboro, the Friendly Center area, potentially, if it holds together, maybe up toward Lake Jeanette also. Those are areas in the path of this storm at this time. This warning goes until 5:30. What do we talk about with tornado safety? Let me show you. Let's talk about how you can be safe during a tornado. You really want to get to that safest part of your home, whether it's a basement. That's the best option. Many of us don't have a basement. I know I don't. If you have a closet or a bathroom, that might be your best option to help you stay safe. So we're talking about a storm. Where is it going to be going? What are the main threats? Most people get hurt with tornadoes from flying debris. We don't really think about that much, but it's flying debris that hurts people in tornadoes. And the reason you don't want to be along an exterior wall, even if it looks sturdy, a flying piece of a tree, a fence post, whatever that debris is, it can go right through that wall just like a projectile. Doesn't care if it's wood or drywall, it can go right through it. So you want to be generally in the middle of your home, a closet, some stairs. The basement will be the best place if you have it, but an interior room puts more barriers between yourself and the outside. Also, we recommend, it sounds silly, grab a helmet. A bicycle helmet will help you, and put on some shoes. If you have bad damage, you're going to want to have shoes on. So those are the safety tips we give you. Go to that lowest level, take cover in a small room, and remain there until the storm has passed. Now, you might be watching us from other parts of the triad here. We are watching this threat over a large area. This is a big line of showers and storms. We're watching it from Southern Virginia through the triad where we have that tornado warning down to Charlotte. So this is just not the end of things. This is going to be ongoing for about 2 more hours. It's going to take a little while before we can clear us. I think by 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, we'll be able to sound that all clear. But right now, that tornado warning is the main event. You're clear in Stokes, you're clear in Winston-Salem, but farther to the south here, that is what we're watching most closely. They've also now, this is brand new, issued a tornado watch. See that big yellow box? This is a tornado watch until 9 o'clock. That includes Randolph, Guilford, Alamance, Chatham County. So we're going to be watching you later on. But in the here and now, we're watching this tornado warning until 5:30 for Davidson County. That storm is quickly going to move out of Davidson, moving into Guilford and Forsyth. Christian Morgan, I believe, is standing by. Christian, if you've seen anything from our partners at the National Weather Service, maybe on social media, anything that we can add to tell our viewers what this storm is already doing and where it's going from here.
Yeah, Tim, thanks. So we've been continuing to watch this as we've gone throughout the last several minutes. And Tim, I've been watching to hear from our folks at the National Weather Service in Raleigh and haven't seen anything so far as reports go yet, but we're continuing to watch that. But I will just give Tim a little breather here and we'll just kind of refocus on what we're watching right now. And if you're just joining us, we do have a tornado warning. It does remain in effect for Davidson County, Forsyth County, and Guilford County until 5:30. And it's for this cell right here just near Thomasville. And we can switch the radar here view and show you just kind of what we're talking about. So bear with me as I switch views here. We're going to come in here and show you our velocity map. It really shows us how the winds are twisting and turning and shows us where that area of rotation is. So you notice these blues and how these reds are mixing. That's the area of rotation that we're watching the closest. It's right here just to the northeast of Thomasville and near Welcome. It's headed to the northeast and it is moving quick at 50 miles per hour. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to place a storm track on here just so you can get an idea of arrival times as this thing tracks to the northeast. And I'm going to put these here just on the right side of your screen. So again, moving northeast at about 50 miles per hour, approaching High Point just before 5 o'clock, Deep River just after 5 o'clock. So you get the picture here. This is a quick moving system and is still showing very concerning signs of rotation. And I want to go back to that just that we mentioned as we see these colors mixing here. Those blues and those reds are still pretty tight. So this is a concerning area of rotation that really hasn't weakened much in the last several minutes. But while we focus on that and continue to watch that, I do want to zoom out to another view here and just kind of show you what's happening, not just in Davidson County and Forsyth County, but this is the line of thunderstorms that we've been watching. Of course, we haven't seen much in the way of severe weather today until just a few minutes ago, but this line is running into much warmer, much more humid air, makes it a whole lot easier for those storms to form and become severe as they do. So our focus is mainly going to be on Guilford County, Randolph County, and of course Davidson County as this line of storms pushes off to the northeast. But these places are still not under the gun, and if you watch, this storm's tracking off to the northeast, so this tornado warning could very well get extended in the next few minutes, and that's what we'll continue to watch for. And I'm going to check back in here with our folks at the National Weather Service just to see if we have any reports of damage yet, and I'm not seeing anything yet. Control room, if you hear anything, if you can pass that along, that would be great. I do want to jump over real quick and show you, as we continue to track this line of storms and we continue to monitor the progress of this tornado warned cell, I want to give you just an idea of what we're looking at as far as timing goes here in the Triad. We still need to keep our guard up up until about 6 or 7 o'clock tonight, and then it looks like things will clear the triad. So that's the main timing that we're watching here. A little bit later, if you're over in Alamance County, Burlington, and heading towards the Raleigh-Durham area, you really want to pay attention from now until about 7 o'clock. But I do think after 7 or 8 o'clock, we're going to be done with the severe weather threat here in the triad. Again, if you're just joining us, we're going to zoom back in here and show you what we're looking at on a wider view. We're tracking this line of showers and thunderstorms pushing through the triad, and we do have a tornado warning in effect for Forsyth County, Davidson County, and Guilford County, and that goes until 5:30. If you are in those areas or in the line of this storm, you want to find that safe spot. You want to take cover now, and you want to stay there until this warning is over. And Tim was just mentioning a couple things we like to remind you. If you are in the path of this storm, find that most inner room in your home away from doors and windows and stay there. If you don't have a basement would be the best thing. If you don't have that, find a coat closet on the lowest level of your home, as long as it's away from exterior doors and windows, and stay there. Wear shoes, even wear a helmet to protect your head from any debris that may pierce through doors or walls. We just want you to be the safest that you can. And of course, if you're watching us on the TV, take your phone with you, because you can track along with us there, and we'll be keeping you updated. Again, I want to go back to this storm and show you this tornado warning that is going until 5:30, and just as I say that, we do have another one that is issued, again for the same storm, but this one is for Guilford County, and it does include Randolph County, and it goes until 6 o'clock. So let me switch over real fast again and show you the area that we're watching. It's just to the northeast of Thomasville, right here on the Randolph County, Guilford County, Davidson County line, where the blues and the reds are mixing. That's the area of rotation, and this is strong rotation, very concerning, and it's moving off to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. Tim, I'm going to toss it back to you and let us know if you've seen anything on your end. We'll continue to watch it on this end, and we'll cover it all the way up until the threat is over.
Hey guys, yeah, really concerned about this storm. It looks like it's intensifying, not weakening. So let me just reset for you. Not liking what I'm seeing. It went through Thomasville. It's going through High Point right now. If you're in High Point, if you're in any part of Guilford County, I want you to get to a safe spot. That would include the folks in our building in the next 15 minutes as well. This thing is headed toward Greensboro. Okay, this is coming up the pike through Greensboro. I want to show you what I'm seeing, and I want to switch to our velocity mode. It is looking more concerning by the minute. What I mean here, High Point, Archdale, you see that red right up against the blue? This is very intense rotation. It's possible, and I would love us to call Thomasville, anyone in Thomasville, we need to get them on the phone. This thing looked like it rolled right through there. And the reason I say that is we have some technology that we can use. This is not confirmation, but we look for debris, and there's a little flare up of yellow. This could be a fluke, or it could be telling us that there is actually debris from the tornado in the air in Thomasville. I can't confirm that, but I'm concerned about it. All right? Check on your friends, family in Thomasville. If you're in Guilford County, get to a safe spot. You can take us with you on your phone. You go to WFMYnews2.com, find us there, find us on Facebook. We're live right now. You can bring us with you, but I want you to get to a safe spot now. You're not waiting. You're not waiting to do that. If you wait, it's too late. This new tornado warning is the more accurate box. It's the more accurate box. And the reason is like I was saying before, that storm is tracking to the east. It's not tracking into Kernersville. It's tracking this direction instead. So from High Point, it will go up toward Greensboro. If it holds together, it would ride up right there into northeast Greensboro and then eventually up closer to the Rockingham County line. Now, it depends on how well it holds together. Take a look. Greensboro's 54 degrees, High Point's in the low 60s. It's possible, we hope, that it would weaken as it moves in this direction, but that's not a guarantee, okay? Not a guarantee. If you are in Guilford County, get to your safe spot right now. You're gonna hear me repeating myself a lot. The reason I do that is because important information, probably the most important thing you'll hear all week. Get to your safe spot in High Point, Greensboro, any part of Guilford County, let's say except for maybe the southeast corner. That's an order right now. It's very important that you do that because this thing is spinning very, very significantly. And I want to look at our High Point camera at the moment. So we have a camera here in High Point. This is it. I'm gonna step out of the way. You can just watch this. So right now we're watching in High Point. I'll roll this out of the way a little bit so you can see it. This is the live view of the storm. Now we're seeing some wind. Thanks, Control. Yeah, if you can take that full, that'd be great. It's gonna bounce a little bit here, and I'm not sure exactly how far away that storm is from our camera position, but you can see a lot of cars on the road. This is High Point right now. There is a tornado warning for High Point, and this is the storm that we're seeing right now. So this thing is rolling right into that area at the moment. And the reason we're showing this to you is because that's where the center of it is very, very closely located. I mean, we're talking about this thing is moving into High Point as we speak. So if you're in High Point, you see this camera, get to your safe spot. Greensboro, this is coming your way in the next 5 minutes. 5 minutes, not 10, not 20, 5. 5. All right, that's our view on High Point right now. Let's go back to the radar very quickly. Controlman, if you could do me a favor, watch this camera and let us know if we need to go back to it. Thank you. So here we go. We're in High Point yet again. This tornado warning for Guilford County goes until 6 o'clock. It's tempting to focus on where the storm is, and that's very, very important. But you got to get to your safe spot in Greensboro because it's going to be here in the next 5 to 10 minutes, okay? So Greensboro, you're watching News 2 at 5 right now. There is a tornado warning for High Point, Jamestown, Greensboro, northern Greensboro, eastern, western, you name it. This storm is heading our way. We were just showing you the High Point camera there, and we was looking right there close to Thomasville. This might be a spike, or it could be a sign of debris in the air. I hope it's not. I hope it's not, but it is spinning quite a bit. Let's go back to the velocity now. It's important to check this as often as we can. I don't like the look of that at all. I just don't like the look. High Point, right here, Business 85, Archdale, Main Street. It's coming up right on Main Street right now. This tornado is coming up right on Main Street right now. If it's on the ground, it's going to be doing some damage, okay? Now it's going to be riding right up 85. What are your locations, your landmarks here? Coming right there close to the big furniture store on 85 in the next 5 minutes, really 2 minutes. And then it'll be coming up closer to the Grandover right after that. Jamestown, you're up next as well. That's where this storm is heading. Okay, so I'm just going to take you on a ride for where this storm is heading next. All right, so we're talking about Jamestown. That would be, Main Street, Jamestown, River Road, Guilford College Road. You'll be up next in about 10 minutes. This is right there where they put the new Publix. Right along Guilford College Road as you go up north toward western Greensboro. The Grandover Resort, you're going to be impacted by this possible tornado in just the next couple of minutes. Farther north, the new urban loop, you would be up next. That would include Adams Farm area, West Wendover, near the Target, near the Walmart, all of those busy areas right at a busy time of day. If you know people who are out and about here doing errands, give them a call. Make sure they know this. Make sure they know there's a tornado warning. This goes until 6 o'clock, as I said. Let's go back to our camera here. I'm going to load it up for you. You can watch it in High Point here. Still raining quite a bit, bouncing around a little bit as well. Unfortunately, I don't think our camera is going to be capturing anything. Part of the thing of North Carolina, you don't see tornadoes very often. What I mean by that is you can't see them. It's raining too hard. These are rain-wrapped storms, so you're flying blind. You could be just driving on the road and you have no clue that you're about to drive into a tornado. That's the scary thing. That's why we talk about this as being such a dangerous situation. So High Point, this storm is rolling through your area right now. If anyone is able to move the camera maybe a little bit to the left, as we go to the left, you should be seeing a little bit more of where the storm actually is. But that's your High Point tornado right now. I'm going to be looking here to see if we can get more information from our partners at the National Weather Service. We're panning left, as you can see. And the camera is definitely bouncing up and down in the breeze. Decent visibility here from this camera, which shows the rain is lessening up a little bit. The storm might have pushed just past Main Street now. This is a good view. It's very windy. Just to reiterate while we're watching this, if you're in any part of Guilford County, I want you to be in your safe spot right now. This is now a Guilford County storm. It's not a Davidson storm anymore. This is a Guilford County storm, and it's not really a Forsyth County storm either. This is what we're watching as being super, super dangerous at this moment. All right, thank you, Control. I really appreciate that. We're gonna get back to the radar here, and then we'll get to Julie for an update. So we have this larger line of storms moving through all of the central triad area. The main idea is for Greensboro, you gotta be in that safe spot because you look at the line, there's more. This is not the only chunk, but this is the main chunk that we're gonna have to deal with. Once this pushes by, we're going to be okay. But in the meantime, We're really under the gun. You can see these are the strongest parts right here. And what we were saying before is the warm front, when that warm front lifts to the north, it's in the 70s in Asheboro. It's in the 50s here. So the front is right here. And that contrast is what can create these spinning motions when it comes to weather. And this is the problem. So you have that spinning motion right here from High Point to Archdale up to the Grandover area and up there closer to Jamestown too. So just to recap, and we'll get over to Julie, we are watching this with nervousness, yes, but also with preparation. You should have a plan on where to go. You got to be there now. The plan is enacted right now, okay? And if you're out and about and you're seeing this on your phone, get to a safe spot, whatever's close to you. You don't want to stay on the road. If you're next to a big old target, get inside there. Something like that is a good thing to do. Let's look a little bit closer to our velocity one more time. This is just super important for everyone to realize. And Christian, if you can just let the folks know if you have anything new information for us. But here's your storm. This is going this way, that's going that way. The center of circulation now appears to be going right north along really that Business 85 corridor. So it's going right by Furniture Land South very shortly. Cannot confirm personally that it's on the ground, but what I've seen, I would not be surprised. Would not be surprised. Going right there toward the Grandover Resort shortly, then the new urban loop area. And if we follow this along, where are you going? Downtown Greensboro. It's right here. That's only about 5-10 minutes away. And then we head toward up by A&T, right by where I'm standing at the TV station. We're going to have to be watching this very, very carefully over the next 20 minutes. Okay, this warning goes all the way through 6 o'clock. This warning goes all the way to 6 o'clock. So we have some time, but not much. You have to do your plan now. Now. Eventually, if it holds together, and I'm not sure that it will because it's cold up there, we'll be watching very carefully. So there's your, I'm going to do one more thing. One thing that we learned from the Greensboro tornado a couple years ago is we have to use more than one radar. What I mean by that is we have different radars we can use. Unfortunately, we don't have one in the Triad. There's one in Virginia and there's one in Raleigh. That's what we get from the National Weather Service. But they both give a different look at the storm. So now I'm looking at my Raleigh source. This too is showing very strong rotation right here. Ignore the different colors, that's just a different table. But we're seeing that same rotation in the same spot. And that's generally moving right there closer to Greensboro, moving northeast at about 50 miles per hour. About 50 miles per hour. This is a better view, it looks like though. This is going right there toward Jamestown. Got to get to that safe spot right now. And then right there toward Adams Farm, right by Guilford College Road. There's the Publix there. A lot of different, GTCC is right here also. Major parts of the Triad area, highly populated parts of the Triad area under a tornado warning right now. Right now. Call your friends, call your family, and make sure they know this. Take your phone with you to your safe spot. You don't have to leave us. You can watch us on your phone. We're on Facebook. We're on WFMYnews2.com/watch. It should pop up very easily. If you have our app, we're right there. If you don't have it, download it right now because it'll help you to stay informed and hopefully help you to stay a little calm because this is pushing out a high point. High point, I think it'll get better for you, not worse at this point, but this is where that storm is right now. I'm going to toss it over to Julie Luck, has some new information for us, and then if we could go to Christian right after that, that'd be great.
Tim, thank you very much. We are continuing our team coverage right now of that tornado warning in parts of the Piedmont Triad. We have been calling, our newsroom has been busy trying to get updates about any possible damage in our area. Let me give you the latest from what we are hearing from Davidson County. The Thomasville Police Department saying no reports of damage at this time. The Hasty Fire Department that is in Thomasville is reporting heavy rain and they are watching the storm and they are on standby ready to respond. Also, we have been in touch with Davidson County 911. They're telling us they have received reports of branches and roadways, heavy rain, no reports though of debris flying at this time. Also, thanks to you and our viewers here at WFMY News 2, you are giving us your reports as well. We are hearing heavy rain along Skeet Club Road in Guilford County, and also people in High Point and Archdale are saying they are hearing very loud wind as well as howling. So please continue to give us your reports. Send us your photos if you're able and you're safe to news@WFMY.com. Again, news@WFMY.com as well. I want to mention that Governor Roy Cooper has issued a state of emergency because of this system that basically frees up resources to respond to any possible damage. Let me just read you this one quote from the governor. This state of emergency will allow movement of trucks and equipment to respond to emergencies rapidly, restore power outages, and clear debris after the storm passes. So again, that is a state of emergency for North Carolina. Let's now continue to watch our coverage and check on the radar with our meteorologist, Christian Morgan.
Yeah, thanks, Julian. If you are just joining us, just kind of want to zoom out on a wider view and tell you what we've got going on here. If you are just joining us, we do have a tornado warning. It's for Guilford County and Randolph County, and it goes until 6 o'clock. But really, this system is moving out of Randolph County. This is really a Guilford County storm and really becoming a Greensboro storm as well. So what we're tracking is this line of storms moving through the triad. Again, places to the northwest, not so concerned. It's still in the 50s there, but we do have warm, muggy air in places like Guilford County, Randolph County, Alamance County, and as this line progresses, it could continue to be severe and could continue to produce tornado warnings. So let's zoom in a little bit closer here, and I want to show you what we're looking at and what we're talking about. These areas of rotation that you see, these greens and pinks starting to mix with the reds, that is where the area of rotation is, where the winds are spinning around each other. And this has been a pretty concerning area of rotation for the last several minutes. It looks like it may be weakening some, but this storm is moving fast to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. So what I want to do here is zoom out just a moment, and I want to put a track on this storm for you, just so you have an idea. Again, Greensboro, this is moving into downtown over the next 5 minutes. If you are in the downtown area, find your safe spot now, stay there, take your phone with you. You can follow along with us that way and stay there until this storm passes or until this warning is over. There you go. There's some arrival times for you on the right. Heading into Greensboro over the next 5 minutes. This is just an estimated time of arrival at 5:13, 5:17 over at East White Oak, moving into McLeansville at about 5:22. So again, if you are in downtown Greensboro, if you are in the path of this storm, find your safe spot now. Do not wait. Do not hesitate. Wear shoes. Take a helmet with you. Wear eye protection if you have that. And find the most inner room in your home away from exterior doors and windows until this storm passes. Again, we're going to continue to track this. And again, folks here at the station, this is moving towards downtown and headed towards the station. So we're going to continue to monitor this very closely as well. Again, this is the most concerning area of this storm. So if you're in Randolph County, I know that this warning includes you, but this is really a Guilford County and Greensboro storm now. Places like Level Cross and Randleman, this storm is just moving up towards to the northwest of you, and it should be moving and things should be improving over the next 5 to 10 minutes. So again, our focus is mainly on Guilford County for this storm. And what I want to do here is again show you what we're talking about, and I just want to switch radar views here for a second. And see what things look like on a different view. And again, you're going to hear us repeating ourselves a lot, but we're just trying to get the most up-to-date information for you and let you know what's going on. So again, the area of rotation that we're watching the closest right now is just to the northeast of High Point. Again, where you see the blues and greens starting to mix with the reds. That is the area of rotation and the spinning motion that we're talking about. Now, I can say that over the last few minutes, as we've been tracking this, the area of rotation looks that it may be weakening some. But again, this is a tornado warned system, and that tornado warning does go until 6 o'clock. And what I want to do here is just switch over on another view. This is what we call debris detection or correlation coefficient. And where we start to see these reds becoming mixed with some blues and different colors popping up, that can mean that debris is being wafted into the air. It also can mean that there's just a little bit of bad data in the radar scan there. Sorry, control room, can you say that again? Okay. If we can take that, please. We got a good look here at I-40 West over Wendover in Greensboro, and we're going to get that up for you in just a second so you can see what we're talking about. You can see that. You can see blinding rain there. That's I-40 and Wendover crossing over. Blinding torrential rain, and what we can't see in this storm is that if it's spinning, it could be rain wrapped. So we don't know where the center of that tornado is exactly. Again, this is not confirmed to be on the ground, but it is still spinning. It is still showing signs of rotation, and it's moving off to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. I'm going to continue to track along with this and stay in touch with our folks at the National Weather Service and control room. If you guys hear of any other damage that you can pass along, please let me know. And I am going to toss it back over to Tim here for just a second.
Hey guys, back with you now. We're still watching this tornado warning moving past High Point. But it's 2021. We have social media nowadays and getting some reports. I can't confirm this personally, but someone is telling me trees down on Interstate 85 Business right there by the Main Street exit. If you're with us just a few minutes ago, that storm was passing right through High Point and then on that Main Street area would make sense near Surratt Drive. Also hearing from somebody that they saw or reporting a confirmed tornado on scanner traffic. I can't confirm that for you. This is not coming from us, but this is from a tweet, a social media report. So let's look at this storm. It's moving just to the north of High Point. Not liking what we're seeing still. There's plenty of rotation here. Plenty of rotation continues. If you are in downtown Greensboro, actually the latest scan here is not looking as bad. It's honestly not looking as bad. The rotation has weakened a little bit. A little bit. This storm's still rotating, but not as much as it was just a few minutes ago. Having said that, if you're in your safe spot, I would stay there until this passes. Hearing from one of our weather spotters in Wahlberg, he said, Tim, we didn't have the tornado in Wahlberg, but we had winds that were around 50, 60 miles per hour. So you gotta be careful. You don't wanna be near any outside walls and windows. Be extremely cautious because this thing is still rotating. The good thing that I'm seeing, it looks like it's trying to kind of spread out. And when it spreads out, has more than one center here, that tends to weaken things rather than strengthen things. It does appear that they're issuing new warnings all the time. The latest warning is now a severe thunderstorm warning. This yellow box, this storm is headed toward Asheboro, then southeast Guilford, and then Alamance. So eventually, you're going to get the heavy weather too. Alamance, Randolph, southeast Guilford. But we're most concerned still about downtown Greensboro in particular. This storm is booking it. It's moving quickly, 50 miles per hour. Think about if you were to get in the car and drive from High Point to Greensboro. It takes a little while, doesn't take too long. And that's what's going on right now. We're still seeing some of this rotation right near Friendly Center. But as I was mentioning, it has more than one center now. And I'm going to confirm this with another radar source before I get too encouraged. See, this looks not so good. This is why we check more than one thing. We learn our lessons here. So this is that rotation from the Raleigh area, still looking very concerning, right there near I-85, right after the merge. When those two merge together right by Grandover, that's where the rotation appears to be strongest right now, close to Wet and Wild Water Park. Wet and Wild Water Park. This is close to there, very close to 220, as a lot of folks would take that to Randolph County this time of day on a normal afternoon. We're still seeing a lot of rotation here from the Groomtown area, the Grandover area, up closing in onto southern parts of Greensboro as well. Lots going on all at once. We do have a live camera on West Wendover, I believe, or somewhere close to that. Let's take a look at this. This is a live view. Holy moly. So we're looking at this storm. That's a picture, sorry, not a live view. This is a picture, I believe, from West Wendover. Is that correct? Northwest of Randleman. Okay, so we're in Randolph County here. This would be looking at the storm from the southern side. And that storm will be getting closer to there next up. All right, thank you for those photos. Look at this. This is incredible. So we're seeing the storm from a distance there. Now we're on the Wendover camera next. So we're gonna go right to where this storm is now. Look at all of the cars putting on their blinders because the rain is coming down in sheets. At this point, I'm going to encourage us. This is great video, guys. Let's keep an eye on that. Let me know if we need to go back to it. But we're looking also in downtown Greensboro on our sky camera. Thank you to whomever has moved this. We've moved it to look in the southeast direction now. This is the direction where the tornado, if it is still on the ground, and we don't know if that is confirmed or not, but this storm is moving to downtown Greensboro in just the next couple of minutes. Just the next couple of minutes. Getting a report from someone that I know in the Sedgefield area. So the rain was sideways, wind very, very gusty. He's right there near Ragsdale High School, does not report any tornado damage, but that is just one report. So we're watching this camera nervously, yes, but also hopefully you are taking shelter and you're in a safe spot. That's the most important thing. Just to reiterate, we have a tornado warning for Guilford County. Guilford County. Initially, we had told you Davidson, we told you Forsyth. This is a Guilford County storm now. Point blank. Full stop. Guilford County storm moving toward downtown Greensboro. Still a lot of rotation, but not quite the same as it looked before. I think it's a little weaker, but it's moving through downtown Greensboro. I'm going to switch back to our radar view so we can watch this. If we can go back to our, there we go, perfect. Perfect, we're loving this here. We're looking here at the middle of Greensboro now. That tornado warning still continues. The heaviest of the storm is moving right toward downtown at this time. And if we could come back to me at the key, guys, I want to point a couple of things out here whenever we have a chance. Downtown is seeing the heaviest rain at this time, and it's about to move into northeast Greensboro over the next 5 minutes. Over the next 5 minutes, we're looking at this moving through downtown Greensboro. So this warning still continues. We're still dealing with that tornado possibly in central Guilford, right there near downtown Greensboro. This is the heart of the storm. This is the center of the storm right now, right over downtown. Now the rotation itself might be a little bit south, so downtown is there. This is I-40. We're seeing a lot that this storm is actually curving and bending eastward as it moves along. I think the reason that's happening, if we go back to our temperature map, you can see clearly there's a temperature boundary. 70s here, 50s there, huge. And what storms like to do, they like to roar right along the boundary of that front. We call it a wedge front today, that wedge of cooler air that was helping us for a while. Now it's curving right along that boundary. And we were expecting that could be the case. So I think that means Burlington, you gotta be paying attention to this also. I'm concerned it might be strengthening a little as well as it goes toward your area with the warmth that's available to it. Back to downtown Greensboro now, it's raining a whole lot, the camera bouncing a little bit in the breeze. Same story, control room. If that looks more impressive, let me know, we'll go back to it. But let's get back to the velocity. Watching the winds in this storm. If we zoom out just a little, this is kind of a classic look. Looks like a comma. See how it looks like a comma? That's what we call a comma shape in meteorology, but it can show that this is the spinning part of the storm. So it fits the bill very clearly. Now, new radar data is coming in. We get new scans every 2 or 3 minutes. Hopefully more when we have situations like this. Looks to me still that the worst rotation is just on the south side of Greensboro, really right by Business 85. Let's just go right up to it, shall we? Let's go right up to it. I-40 here, 220. Well, really, I guess that's 29 at that point, isn't it? No, we're at 220. My mistake, that's 220. Right by I-73 as it goes farther to the south. This is that rotation. I believe, what are we talking about here? There's a Walmart down here. You have the Home Depot down here as well, just trying to spit out some landmarks so you know where we are. That's as you go down closer to, sorry, this is the one 421 that goes down closer to eventually Siler City. There's your spinning motion though. That rotation is still present, very, very much so, right over the city of Greensboro. Right over the city of Greensboro. We're seeing that rotation very, very strongly right now, and it is continuing to move generally, as I've been mentioning. They've been having to draw new boxes because it keeps going a little bit to the east. It's trying to find and trying to sense that warmer air, which at this point, it's not north, it's east. And that's what's trying to happen. Let me do a quick loop on this so we can actually see the motion of that storm. This is a little bit fast, that might not be very helpful. I'm gonna go frame by frame. So we saw it back here in High Point. I'm in the way. There's Jamestown. Then it moved right there here closer to the urban loop, Sedgefield area, Ragsdale High School. So we go a little bit closer here to the southern edge of Greensboro. That's that rotation right now. And we're still waiting on a new frame. If you're in downtown Greensboro, keep tight, hang tight for the next 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. But after that, things should start to improve a little bit. That would go for us here at the station too. I think that was going to pass a little bit south of us, but hang tight. Hallways are our safe spot here at the station. Know your safe spot at your house and get there. They're reissuing a new box here, a new box. Sorry, there's so many boxes. New information. I'm going to click on this and just want to read this, and then we're going to get over to Ben Briscoe with some new information. So just a couple minutes ago, the tornado possibly on the ground, not sure, we don't know, but a tornado warning remains in effect till 6 o'clock for these areas. Downtown Greensboro, northeast Greensboro, Lake Jeanette, Lake Townsend, up toward Brown Summit eventually if it were to hold together that long. It's moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. So it's slowed down ever so slightly, but it is continuously, to me, looking like it's moving to the east. So if you see that red line and you're in Sedalia, I want you to still take shelter as well. Whitsett as well. We're going to switch over right now to our Greensboro sky camera. Let's take a look at this. It's going to be impressive. We're actually seeing sheets of rain. Basically can't even see clearly out of it right now. It's all blocked up, and we had a good view on this a little while ago. And if you want to see a little bit more definition, I believe we can take our weather garden here at News 2. We typically do the weather outside. Not the case right now. Some significant winds are starting here at our News 2 station. If you're not aware where we're located, we're on the northeast side of Greensboro, right off Summit Avenue. I'm going to go back here. Thank you, guys. I want to just look at one more thing, and then we can go to Ben. Actually, we can take Ben right now.
So we're just getting into our newsroom some new pictures of damage from this storm. This is Baker Road in High Point. Police confirmed to us that there's significant damage in the area. This is just the tip of it. We have crews on the way there right now. I also want to show you heavy clouds, pictures of those moving all across the area. This is Randleman on US 311. We also have from emergency management that it is raining cats and dogs there, drenching 4.5 inches per hour there. If you see pictures of the storm damage and you can safely send it to us, please do. Just send over to news@WFMY.com. But right now, Julie Luck has some more updates from across the Triad.
Ben, thank you. I want to give our folks a little bit more information about that Baker Road damage that Ben just mentioned. Specifically, this is Baker Road at Kellywood Drive. One of our WFMY News 2 viewers was the one who tweeted those photos to us. Ben mentioned we have a crew heading out there right now, but that area is not too far from Furniture Land South. Also, I want to give you an update. This is from Guilford Metro 911 saying there are reports of significant tree damage and a possible tornado activity in the area of Model Farm Road in High Point. Again, that is from Guilford Metro 911. We will keep you updated as we have even more crews heading to that vicinity. Also want to give you some more updates about our crews. I'm so sorry. We're just kind of getting all of our crews lined up in a row to make sure that they are safe to get out to these locations. As Ben mentioned, we encourage you to send us photos as well of any damage you may see. If it is safe to do so, you can do that at news@WFMY.com. Again, that's news@WFMY.com. You can also tweet us or email us or send us your photos to 336-379-5775. I'm sorry, control room, who is coming up next? All right, let's go back to our chief meteorologist, Tim Buckley, for the very latest.
Hey there, thank you for the report. Of course, we're hearing now of that damage that Julie was mentioning over in the area we were tracking before. Really concerned to see this now. We have technology that allows us to actually see if debris has been lofted into the air or not. Right now, I know this doesn't look like much, but you see these yellows and greens and whites, that lighter shade, that could be, and not confirmed, that could be some debris lofted in the air over Guilford County. That would correspond pretty well with the storm. You see back over here, it's showing that lighter color back by where the storm was and still moving along. I'm very concerned to see that. If that's debris, that's a lot of it. And that could mean there's already been a lot of damage on the southern side of Greensboro over toward High Point. I can't confirm that. I'm just using the technology I have to let you know this is a serious storm. And we're already hearing it's a damaging storm, and it's still going. Still going right now. So please take it very seriously. The good news, if you are in High Point, things are calming down for you. If you're in Davidson County, things are calming down for you. But that storm, it really continues to move farther off to the east. I got to say, I don't like that because we're trying to warn the correct people. And sure enough, right now, that spinning motion does appear to keep on moving east of that red line. So we have McLeansville here. There's actually two areas of rotation, one right there and one right here. Let's switch radars to make sure we're getting all the best information. If you're in Guilford County right now, you just got to be in your safe spot. Everybody. East of Greensboro, everyone's got to be in their safe spot right now. That's just the way it is with this storm. And with the radar data that we have, it's imperfect, right? It's really just imperfect. And if you switch radars, it looks quite a bit different. Broad rotation, but still significant enough. And with what we've seen on the debris tracker, there could be damage still happening right now. So Guilford County, everybody on alert, safe spot. Bring the phone with you. You can still watch us. Just bring your phone. It's 2021. We can stay right there with you all along as we track this together. Downtown Greensboro should be improving a little bit very, very shortly, if not already. Looks like it is. Look at that. Look how fast it changes. So we can see things again in downtown Greensboro. In fact, guys, when I switch to the radar, if you want to move this, try and look the other direction. We might be able to see the storm as it moves out on the other side. We talked about the temperatures. It's going to get really cool behind this, but this is the problem. All of this warmth here. If you're in Asheboro, if you're in Burlington, and you're in Siler City, we still have to watch for you because the storms are still possible where it's warm. And along that border, we saw that storm form right down by Lexington and moved right along that temperature border up by High Point and right along the temperature border by Greensboro. And that border, if it were to continue following it, would take it closer to Burlington, okay? So that's the way that that storm continues to loop and continues to move along. Hearing of new video now coming into our newsroom. Let's go over to Ben Briscoe to see some of that footage.
In your video you're sharing with us on social media, you can really see how powerful this rain is. Take a look at this video in Greensboro from Lee Wims of it just rushing down those steps right there, flooding down over that deck. We also have video from our own Alma McCarty. This is near downtown right now in Greensboro. You can see it's really coming down hard. Also, I do want to pass on from High Point that they are aware of multiple power outages in the area. They're talking about around 2,900 on South Main. This is right around that area we showed you just a minute ago where that tree had fallen. But right now, for where the storm's at this moment, let's get over to meteorologist Christian Morgan.
All right, thanks, Ben. And if you're just joining us, I want to come out on a wider view and just tell you what we're looking at and what we're tracking just so we can kind of get our bearings. We are watching a line of severe thunderstorms moving through the triad right now. Very concerned about Greensboro, also concerned about the northwestern side of Randolph County. And we do have a tornado warning that does remain in effect for Guilford County, and it goes until 6 o'clock tonight. Now, I know that Randolph is included in this warning, but really this is just kind of the northwest corner of Randolph County. This storm is really a Greensboro storm and is really a Guilford County storm. So let's zoom in here a little bit closer and show you. We're watching this storm on the east side of Greensboro. Downtown, things should be improving for you. I'm not going to put you all in the clear yet, but if you're on the east or southeast side of Greensboro, you need to be in your safe spot and you need to be there now. No waiting. No hesitation. Get to your safe spot now. Make sure you're wearing shoes, wear a helmet to protect you from any debris that may pierce through walls and doors, and find that most inner room in your home away from those exterior doors and windows. If you have a basement, that's best. If you don't, find a coat closet on the middle level or the closest, the safest spot you have, as long as it's away from doors and windows, and stay there until this storm passes. And I want to zoom in here a little closer and show you the two areas that we're really watching that's very concerning. Is you see where these reds and these greens are starting to mix? This is the area of rotation. Again, on the southeast side of Greensboro, just to the east of Pleasant Garden, it's tracking there right along Highway 85, the I-85 and I-40 corridor right here through Troxler's Mill, and moving into Sedalia and Whitsett over the next 5 to 10 minutes. And again, there's actually two areas of rotation that we're watching closely. This is number one right here, right along the I-40 and I-85 corridor where they cross, and then also moving up northwest here. This is just to the northeast of Greensboro, right near McLeansville, near the 785 and 70 split there. This is the area of rotation that we're watching. Again, this storm moving quickly to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour at last check. And I'm actually going to go in here just a little closer and bear with me while I do this. I'm just going to check in and see what the latest data is from our folks at the National Weather Service. So it has actually slowed down just a little bit. It was moving at about 50 miles per hour, and it looks to have slowed down to about 40 miles per hour now. So what I want to do here is just put a little storm track on this for you so you can see estimated times of arrival. But again, if you are on the east side of Greensboro, if you are near McLeansville, if you are near Whitsett, if you are near Sedalia, you need to find your safe spot and you need to stay there now until this storm passes. So now that I've got this changed here, thanks for bearing with me. I'm going to put a storm track on it for you and just give you some rough arrival times. You can see these here on the right, moving near Matkins by about 5:52, Stony Creek just before 6 o'clock, and moving up to Locust Hill at 6 o'clock. Hey, control room, can you say that again one more time? I'm sorry. Okay, and we are just hearing that we are getting reports of more than 2,400 outages in High Point for power outages as well, and that's the area that we were watching closely. Not confirmed yet, but there were clear signals on radar that there could have been a tornado in that area. We're also hearing several reports of significant damage in that area as well. And we actually have a live shot there of Summit Avenue, if we can take that. Thanks for letting me know that, control room. And we'll take a look at that here. And there you can see it. And you can see the cars putting on brakes, blinding rain, winds blowing around. And again, this is off Summit Avenue, just near downtown Greensboro. Again, things should be improving in downtown over the next 5 to 10 minutes, but we are not going to sound the all clear yet. And I would encourage you, if you are out in this and you're driving and you may be happening to be streaming us on a phone or some kind of electronic device there, find a safe spot and take cover now until this storm passes. Again, you are not in the clear just yet, but things will be improving soon. Again, if you're on the east side of Greensboro, if you're in Whitsett, if you're in McLeansville, if you're in Sedalia, if you're in Burlington, this is all headed your way over the next 5, 10 to 15 minutes or so. And control room, if we can bring it back over here, I just kind of want to reset. And one thing that's really concerning, Tim was mentioning this just a couple moments ago, this is just a piece of technology that we use. It's called coefficient correlation, or we just call it debris detection. And a lot of times what it can show us is where there may be debris being lofted into the air or where there could be damage. And what's really concerning to me is that you see all this red here. Now notice the whites and the greens that are starting to mix. That's a pretty clear signal that that could be damage or debris. It's not confirmed. We don't have official eyes on that or official confirmations on that, but it is quite concerning to see. And again, that's on the east side of Greensboro. So if you're in southeast Greensboro or on the east side of Guilford County, you need to find your safe spot and you need to go there now. Again, just want to come out to you real quick and show you. We do have this tornado warning. It continues for Guilford County until 6 o'clock, and we're going to toss over to Tim right now.
Hey guys, just want to let you know we have 2 tornado warnings. This is new. 2 different tornado warnings for 2 different parts of the storm. Just a minute ago, I was showing you 2 spots that were spinning. Well, we still have the one in northern Guilford, but now we have that other one that has a warning on it. So it's near Sedalia, it's near Whitsett, and it is moving toward Alamance. So Alamance, you are now under a tornado warning until 6 o'clock as well. That would include Burlington, Elon, all the way over to Mebane. Watch very carefully because you know this thing has continued to kind of roar along the east, not northeast, but it's kind of nudging eastward as it goes, seeking out the warm air. So just to reset, we have 2 different tornado warnings. This is not typical. This is unusual, but this is what we're seeing. Strong rotation right here, right on I-40, right by, I believe it's the Rock Creek Road, something along those lines, right near Whitsett, you know where I mean, right there by the Guilford County border, and also strong rotation still up on McLeansville, just to the north of there. This is moving into northeast Guilford County, right there near Route 61 shortly. Passing really right now is where that's passing. So we have that tornado warning ongoing for northeast Guilford County. It's passed by downtown Greensboro. Downtown Greensboro, those tornadoes possibly are past you. But this is serious. Right here over Interstate 40. Look at this. This is maybe the strongest that we've seen it at this time. Sedalia right here, Whitsett right there. This is Highway 61, Route 4, Interstate 40. Right along Route 70. This storm moving northeast, heading right toward Elon. So you have friends, family, Elon area, let them know right now. Immediately, dial them. Text them, see if they're in that right spot. Get to the safe area because this is headed right towards you. Burlington, the city of Burlington, you have got to be on guard too, as well. This is headed your way. It may miss you to the north and west, but it may not. It could curve toward that direction. That's what we've been seeing a lot for today. So just to reset and recap, there's a lot going on. We have 2 different signs of rotation. Both could be tornadoes. We know there's been a lot of damage in High Point. And actually, since I last joined you, I've learned something new. This is through our partners This is through our partners at the National Weather Service, but from emergency management, they're reporting, the High Point Fire Department is reporting structural damage near Business 85 and Main Street in High Point. We saw the storm go right through that area. Multiple reports of roofs off buildings near Main Street, High Point, and they're working to check this out. Again, that's already happened. I only say that to give you more reason to take shelter. We'll have more damage reports coming up, but the immediate concern is who can we help right now? And areas right here are the folks that we can help. That includes anywhere right along the Guilford Alamance line. That includes Elon. It also includes all of Northeast Guilford County. That one's still going up closer to the Rockingham County border, but this one is stronger. And it's also in the warmer area. And it's in a more populated area also. Whitsitt, you're under the gun right here. I'll be anxiously awaiting our next radar update. And just to be thorough, let's switch radars. I like to use both. And this is giving us newer, fresher information, so I'm glad we did. The storm has already moved a little bit. It's already pushing right across that Alamance County line. So we're looking at the center of circulation right south of Elon. Elon, get to your safe spot immediately. It's moving right there close to you. Some roads, if we can shout them out. Really, it's basically right near the Red Oak Brewery. If you're aware of that, it's right here. That's where this possible tornado is right now. North of Lake McIntosh, but headed right toward Elon. We have also St. Mark's Church Road, University Drive. This is a busy part of Alamance County, especially at 5:30 on a weekday. Route 70 as well. Let's take a look at our sky camera from Greensboro. If we can see that storm. Gosh, that looks so bad. This is actually getting much worse. So you can see Greensboro's clearing out right now. The sun might even come out in Greensboro. We're looking at that storm. We're not able to see much from this image other than to tell that it is moving out. It is moving out. So let's go back to the radar when we can. This storm looking more intense now than it has at any moment, really, over the last little while. I want to look at a query here. What I'm going to do, so what we're seeing are winds moving in opposite directions, right? So what I'm showing right now, this is for my benefit, is this wind is going in this direction at 60 miles per hour. It's going in this direction at 30. That's a difference of about 80 miles per hour, just radially, right next to each other. That's not what you want to see. There's a good chance that this is still a tornado on the ground. We don't know that. We cannot confirm officially any tornadoes. We can confirm there's been damage in the area. We can't confirm that. Let's look at our debris detection again. Looks like that's lessened a little bit. But even so, we're watching that rotation so strong. This part of the storm. This one's getting a little weaker. This one's getting a little stronger. And just as I say that, we have a new tornado warning now. So heads up, Caswell County and the tiniest part of Rockingham County you could ever see. This little chunk is all of Rockingham County that's in this warning area. If you're in Reidsville, you do not have a tornado warning. If you're in Ruffin, you do not have a tornado warning. But this little chunk here, you do. So you can kind of rest easy in Reidsville. Don't worry about it. But this is headed right there through Caswell. And that warning is for the one that we've been showing as well, right here, right near Altamaha, close to Matkins. This is not as strong as it was, but it still looks like it could be a tornado. And honestly, guys, that's the best that we can do. With the technology that we have in 2021, we can show you how the wind is moving in the thunderstorm, but the radar beam is several thousand feet above the ground, and tornadoes happen right at the ground. So we can't definitively tell you unless you see it, someone reports it, or of course we see the damage after the fact. But in real time, this is the best that we got. And that strong rotation is still there, and so there's a tornado warning now for Caswell County. Let's put a little tracker on this as well. Moving closer to Anderson and Locust Hill. This would arrive in Yanceyville by around the 6:05 time frame, Locust Hill by about 5:57. So you got to be on alert up in Caswell County through that 6 o'clock time frame. That's your new tornado warning for Caswell County. I believe it runs, what's the time? 6 o'clock also, 6 o'clock. But let's focus on Alamance here, because this, to me, is the most concerning storm on the board right now. And we have multiple, we got to pick and choose. This is awful. This is just awful. Look how strong this rotation has got. Oh my goodness. So we're right here. This looks to be the strongest rotation so far that we have seen today. Right near Elon, right near the shopping centers over there on Interstate 40. Both radars confirming this is strong rotation right near Burlington. Take shelter in Burlington. Take shelter in Graham. This is moving quickly, and it could be moving a little bit farther east as well. So just do it right now. Call the friends, family. Let's go right to the Burlington camera. We have a camera right here. And so we should be able to look in this direction and see what it's looking like. So we're going to take. Looks like that's not the camera. We are looking at a social picture here. Someone is reporting some damage just south of Greensboro. That's a photo from Darren. Thank you for that report. Here we go. So we're looking now from downtown Burlington. Now what you're seeing here, this is not a tornado, but this is what happens in advance. This is what we call a shelf cloud. And this shelf cloud represents the storm moving closer to Burlington. I believe at this point we are looking fairly to the south, perhaps. We might want to look at where the flags are blowing. On this camera, we have a vantage point where there are some flags, and they whip in the breeze. And they're going to be whipping. They're not whipping that much right now. We can stop it right there. This is basically looking to the west. So this is looking in the general area of where that storm will be, maybe just a little bit to the left as well. But the lowering of the clouds, that represents much cooler air approaching. Now that doesn't mean much. That can happen with any thunderstorm. But in this case, that thunderstorm very likely could be producing a tornado at the same time. Very dangerous storm in Alamance County. A lot of rotation is happening there as we speak, and you've just got to take it seriously. I mean, we're at that point where it's bearing down on you right now. And I want to look at our debris tracker too. I'll just do this behind the scenes for the moment. I'll let you know if I see anything. I'm not noticing any debris at the moment. I am getting a report though this is from Jeremy White tweeting me really up on my Twitter feed. So he's at the Rock Creek exit in Whitsett, just south of 85. He said the lights blinked several times, but the worst of it seemed to have avoided him. That's good news. That is good news. However, with what we're seeing on radar, it could be Jeremy was just in a lucky location. We can't really take that chance. We can't really take that chance. All right, we're going to come back in just a second to me. Here we are. We're still tracking multiple different tornado warnings. I know it's busy, so let's just reset. And I'm going to reset by giving you our priorities here. Let's take a look at areas that are no longer under the gun. Guilford County, almost out of the woods, but not yet. Downtown Greensboro, out of the woods. Northeast Greensboro, out of the woods. That storm is still circulating in northeast, moving up toward Caswell, tiny chunk of Rockingham. Another tornado warning right here. Just passed through Whitsett, moving toward Elon, moving toward Burlington. That's still in effect through about 6 o'clock. Okay, so those are the storms that we're tracking right now. Elsewhere, don't want to forget about all of our other folks to the south. I know you don't have a tornado warning, but still serious weather down here. You see how these storms, when they were up in a line, straight up and down, they weren't able to rotate, but they've separated. That one separated, and now there's one near Asheboro. That also has separated. And what that can do, when a storm kind of is on its own, it can give it an ability to rotate or behave how it likes. This is moving through Randleman here, going right there toward Ramseur. So please take this seriously if you're in Randolph. You have heavy weather on the way too. I want to look at the velocity real quick for you. Not tornadic. That's good news, but keep an eye on it. There's your latest view. I'm going to give a street level of this, and then we're going to go to our Burlington camera. You see the strong rotation. Hasn't moved much. I want to get a better view on another radar. Again, I apologize to repeat myself so frequently, but we do this on the fly, right? This is getting very, very close to downtown Burlington. So let's go to that Burlington camera right now to see what it's looking like as we look out to the west over Alamance County. This tornado possibly moving between Elon and between Burlington. Wow. Let's not leave this. We're not going to leave this. Oh my goodness. If there's any way we can zoom out, and there probably isn't, but we're seeing the storm. This is the storm right here. I'm really going to step out of the way because you got to see this. The flags are whipping in the breeze. The flags are whipping a lot. And you can see that that storm, if we could actually tilt upward a little bit, we're going to watch this possible tornado move right through Burlington. You're watching this live on WFMY News 2. This storm is bearing down in Burlington. Get to your safe spot now. We're watching downtown Burlington here. And we did notice on that wide view, the cloud had a green hue to it. We just ran a story about an hour ago telling you about how a thunderstorm, when it's severe or sometimes tornadic, it can acquire a green tint to the sky. It can get a green tint, and that can represent hail. It can represent a lot of different bad things are happening within that thunderstorm. It's the scattering of light. But we're watching right now as this storm is bearing down on Burlington. It's changed a lot just in the last 1 minute or so. The rain coming in sideways, the wind kind of gusting in spurts. And we're just looking, it's important, we're looking at one vantage point. These things change block to block, street to street. They are not the same for everybody. And even the biggest tornadoes that have ever happened are on the order of 1 mile or 2, right? That's the biggest width that we see with tornadoes, and we don't usually see that around here. Look at the wind gusts now. You see those flags whipping in the breeze. This is a great view because we can see the storm, but we can also know how quickly the wind is blowing just by seeing that. And let's tilt upward just a little bit, folks, if we can. We may be able, if it gets close enough, to see the tornado rolling through Burlington. So you're looking live over Burlington, North Carolina. This is downtown Burlington under a tornado warning as we speak. It's only getting worse. Get to that safe spot. Anyone in Alamance County needs to be taking this seriously. And just look at this. This tornado warning continues till 6 o'clock for Alamance County. It's already moved through Elon. It's moving through downtown Burlington right now. You just witnessed some of those extreme wind gusts on the camera there. And now it looks almost like the wind is shifting direction a little bit. And now it's back to how it was. Still very strong gusts there. Even if you're not getting a tornado in this storm, it's evident there are very, very strong winds. And it doesn't appear to me that our camera is in the strongest part of the system. I think it's just on the north side. The strongest part is just on the north side of downtown right now. So please be taking shelter. Taking shelter. We already know lots of damage has been reported in Guilford County, especially High Point. That's just what we know so far. We're going to learn a lot more over the next couple of hours. Our reporters will be heading out and really scanning the area. And want you too, if you can safely do it, not now, but in an hour or so, let us know what happened. Let us know what happened in your area. You can always text us a You can text that photo to 336-379-5775. We get it, we can use it right away. But it looks like things are calming down ever so slightly in downtown Burlington, where a tornado warning does continue. Christian Morgan has been working hard tracking this as well. If we could bring up Christian at the moment. I'm just curious, Christian, what have you been learning? What have you been seeing as we've been watching? Remarkable, 2 different tornado warnings within 20 miles of one another. What have you been seeing as far as any reports of damage or anything to share with our viewers at this time?
Yeah, Tim, I'll tell you what, there's really been a lot going on over the last 15 to 20 minutes or so with 2 areas of rotation strongly that we've been watching. Still keeping my eye on this one near Burlington that we've just seen over the last few minutes roll through Burlington with the strongest winds. I can tell you right now what I'm seeing is it looks like this is starting to weaken some, and that is good news. We have had a couple of our weather spotters in the area tweeting us and letting us know what's been going on. A couple people in downtown Burlington say they really saw the rain pick up and the winds pick up almost instantly. They were at an intersection, stoplights were flickering, and they said it was very quick. The rain started coming down in sheets, the wind was blowing very hard, and it was over in a matter of 2 or 3 minutes. And that's kind of what we saw happening on that live video there of our downtown Burlington sky camera. Continuing to watch and continuing to track, seeing what our folks here at the National Weather Service are seeing. And I am going to break away from this Alamance storm here just a second to say and let our control room know if you haven't seen it yet. We are getting several reports of trees and power lines down. It's on Model Farm Road near Archdale. So if we can check on that, that's just coming in for some of our partners at the National Weather Service as well. But again, we are continuing to track, again, an area of strong rotation and several of them that we've been watching. And like Tim said, we had 2 within 20 miles of each other. So we're continuing to keep a close eye on that. Again, if you are in Burlington, you still need to be in your safe spot. If you're in Whitsett, if you're in McLeansville, things are improving for you. The worst of the storm is now past you. And what I do want to do for a second, we've been talking a lot about this, so I want to zoom out if you're just joining us and kind of reset and show you what we've been tracking over the last several minutes if you've just joined us. We do have a tornado warning. It does continue for Alamance County. It still includes Guilford County until 6 o'clock. But again, the storm is really moving out of Guilford County, and that area of rotation that's tornado warned is now in Alamance County. But what we're continuing to do is track this line of severe storms as it moves through the Piedmont. And again, very capable of producing tornado warnings and tornadoes. We've seen that. We don't have any confirmed tornadoes yet. We can just tell you what we see on radar and use our technology to tell you what looks like it could be a tornado to us. I do want to sound the all clear for some folks. We haven't checked in on our folks back to the west, but folks in Surry County, Stokes County, Forsyth County, Winston-Salem, and even Davidson County now, things are really improving for you and the worst of this is over. So if you are still in your safe spot, if you can safely come out of those areas, you should be fine to do that. But again, we do have a tornado warning. It continues for Alamance County and does include Guilford County still, but this is really an Alamance County, a Burlington storm, and that goes until 6 o'clock for the next 5 minutes. And we have, again, as I've been watching this, we've been watching this area of strong rotation here just over downtown Burlington now, and thankfully it is showing signs of weakening. You can see the reds and the greens aren't as bright and they aren't mixing as much with each other anymore. We'll continue to keep an eye on this, and we'll check back in here with Tim in just a couple moments. Right now we want to toss it over to WFMY's Ben Briscoe.
From damage west of Burlington, overturned the semi on 40 East.
All right, thanks, Ben. And continuing to watch this area of rotation here over downtown Burlington. Again, if you're just joining us, this is the worst of the storm. And there's a lot going on this radar. There are a lot of boxes and a lot of polygons. So again, I just want to kind of reset here and get our bearings if you're just joining us. And again, if you're in Guilford County, if you're in Greensboro, the worst of this storm is past you. It's still raining heavily. There's still some gusty winds in those areas, but the worst of this storm is over. Now notice as we track this line, if I zoom out on a wider view, you can see this line that we're tracking. Again, just sounded the all clear for folks in Winston-Salem and Forsyth County, if you're in Surry County, if you're in Davidson County. Those areas are improving if you're still in your safe spot and you can safely come out of there. Do that. Make sure you have shoes on, make sure you're wearing a helmet just in case you have any damage in your area. Again, several tornado warnings on the map right now, but the only one that's active is for Alamance County, and Guilford County was just trimmed and expired out of this warning. So if you're in Greensboro, if you're in Guilford County, if you're near McLeansville and Whitsett, things are improving for you and you are no longer included in this tornado warning. It does still continue for the next 4 to 5 minutes for Alamance County. The worst of the storm now moving to the northeast of Burlington, crossing right over Green Level Road there and crossing over Glencoe Road, McRae, and moving up to just Crossroads there on the northeast side of Alamance County. And let's get over to WFMY's Julie Lutt for an update.
Christian, thank you so much. Here are some live pictures. We are just getting into WFMY News 2. Our crews are heading out to different areas of the Piedmont Triad that have reported damage, and you are looking at some major damage right now. You are looking live at Baker Road at Kellywood Road. This is in High Point. That is a massive tree blocking Baker Road right now. We have told you within the last hour that this area was hit hard. One of the WFMY News 2 viewers sent us photos of the damage in this area. And here we are looking at that photo of that video of that tree crossing and down on Baker Road right now. We've also heard reports of Baker Road near Townsend and Springfield, also damage there. Want to get you caught up as well on other problems happening in High Point. High Point has about 2,400 power outages. This is in addition to Guilford County's Duke Energy numbers, additional 2,400 outages. So in all, if you add up Guilford as well as High Point, we're talking about nearly 5,000 outages in all of Guilford County. Again, a live photo right now, live video coming in from our crews out in the scene. Baker Road at Kellywood in High Point. Just one of the areas that we are seeing damage reports. I just want to read this to you as well because we got some information from Guilford County EMS. They have received reports of an overturned tractor trailer on I-85 North near the Alamance County line. We are having a crew heading out that way as well. Also, Guilford County EMS is saying that there's a tree down on a car at Liberty and Edgemont. Okay, control room, where are we heading next, sir? Okay, we are going to tell you more a little bit about that tractor trailer overturned on I-85, specifically I-85 North at I-40 East. This is near the Guilford County, Alamance County line. All right.
Hey there, thanks, Julie. This is that photo. We have a picture of this damage. Just a few minutes ago, we were talking about the tornado possibly being right there near Witsit, right by the Red Oak Brewery. And sure enough, that is where this picture is from, an overturned tractor trailer. And you can see it right there, stopping traffic. Very dangerous storm, a very dangerous situation, really, over the last couple of hours. This has been a scary couple of hours for a lot of our friends and neighbors here in the Triad. Resetting, I just want to make sure we take the wide view, reset, and then dive into the details. Wide view, we have a line of storms. Several are nasty, particularly in Alamance County, Randolph County, and Southeast Guilford. Farther south, we'll keep an eye on you. Farther west, everything is fine. You're all clear in Greensboro, Lexington, High Point as well, even after the damage that you saw. But as we go farther off to the east, we still have concern. There are new tornado warnings coming in now. This is kind of a reissuance, okay? What I mean is the Weather Service is saying we're going to get rid of the old one, we're going to put in a new one, and it's going to be more accurate. You're watching WFMY News 2 at 6 as we continue our tornado warning coverage. We're getting new ones all the time. Caswell County just added to this. So let's zoom in. That just popped up now, so you're seeing it for the first time as I am. The circulation of this possible tornado looks to be right here. Let me switch. There you go. So right here, just north of Graham, we're in Alamance County still. We saw this. You watched it with me. Right there on the weather camera in downtown Burlington. This is moving now north, closer to green level. There's your circulation. Mebane, safe spot. Now, Graham, it's moving past you, but still be in that safe spot another 5 to 10. You can't be too careful with this. And I do want to switch our radar just to make sure we're giving you all the views you deserve. This one is a little more up to date. It's moving closer to that just crossroads area. Route 119, Route 49, Route 62. This is where the circulation is. So if there's a tornado right now in Alamance, it's likely on 119. That, if that's true, that would be good news for Mebane because it's just a little north of you, okay? You're still going to get a rough storm. Everyone is going to get a rough storm. But this is the spinning part. That's the potential of maybe having a tornado. I'll go back to our Raleigh view and see if we have a new image. We do not yet. Still back here, but that shows you the motion. It's going from green level up there and then eventually passing into Orange County. I know a lot of you in Orange watch us on your antenna. We're watching you too. That's going to continue. That warning goes all the way to 7 o'clock here, and then eventually it'll be moving possibly into southern Caswell County and then eventually out of our area. Person County included, Orange County, Durham County, all included there. So these areas are the ones that still have a tornado warning. I do want to zoom back into Randolph, and then we're going to go to our Jalen Gilkey live in the field. But first, Liberty, you're dealing with a rough storm. It'll be getting better in about 5 to 10 minutes. Randleman, things should be improving already. Asheboro, Still want you to be on guard. I don't have a warning for you right now. I don't have a tornado warning or anything like that, but you're warm. This could still change. Same goes for you in Ramseur, Coleridge. Be on guard, be alert. Similar story farther south for Montgomery. That's our reset. We have live reporters in the field now. We're starting to learn more about the damage. Our Jalen Gilkey is in southern Guilford County. Jalen, what are you seeing right now?
Well, some things have calmed down a bit here in southern Guilford County, Tim. We're north of the intersection of Edgemont and Liberty. But one thing we have seen since we've been out here, we had a tree come down, and unfortunately in front of a vehicle as she was driving. She made her way north on Edgemont, and the tree fell just a few feet before. She ended up not being able to get on the brakes in time, ran up the tree, and then a couple smaller trees fell on the car as well. Thankfully, everybody's okay. There were no injuries reported here, just a little minor car damage. We're not seeing too much property damage out here in the southern Guilford County, in the Guilford County area. But this is what we have seen so far. We got this tree down here, and as you can see, it's up underneath this car pretty bad. We don't know the extent of the damage, but we do know everyone's safe, and that is the key. That's the most crucial thing. So you guys, that's all we're seeing out here, and we appreciate it. We just thank you, and we're just thankful that there's no other damage and no other property damage that we have to report.
Hey folks, we're just continuing to follow this. It's been a wild couple of hours and a scary couple of hours. Still following a tornado warning for Alamance County and Caswell. We're getting close to the end, but we're not there yet. This line is still moving through the Triad, and actually, if we zoom out a little longer, there are more showers and storms up for the mountains. I'm not worried about that at all. I've got to be honest with you. We should be okay after that. But this line still means business. We have several severe thunderstorm warnings. I apologize for bouncing around so much. Let's go back to the tornado warning. It's always the most important thing that we do here at the station. We're tracking that circulation, the spinning part, the dangerous part, right there in northern Alamance County, northeast Alamance County. It's north of Mebane, but it's still very bad in Graham also, not as dangerous with the tornado potential, but it's still raining heavily. And we're finding this in Caswell County too. That storm could be moving right into your neighborhood over the next 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm just going to zoom in and give us that latest view of the velocity. And this is probably, hopefully, the last tornado warning that we have to cover through the next couple of hours. But you see that spinning motion right there? See how it's so tightly packed? The tighter they are, it's just like if you were to spin a top as a kid. You know, when you have a little toy, you rub your fingers together, one in one direction, one in the other direction. That encourages the spinning motion. Well, it's the same thing with weather. This is going one way, that's going the other way. That's your spin. So let's zoom in and give you the roads. We're right near Highway 49, Highway 119. If you're familiar with Alamance County, you know where this is, the Just Crossroads area. Moving closer to Carr as we go into the next 5 minutes. That's Orange County now, and Caswell County. Well, you still have another circulation there too. There's still some rotation just to the south of Yanceyville. We're near High Towers. Get to your safe spot too. Caswell County, Northern Alamance, the two areas I still want to be in their safe spot. Elsewhere, all is fine in Rockingham. Most of Guilford is fine. Randolph County, still watching some storms there. You still have a severe thunderstorm warning. Hang tight in Liberty, but I don't see any tornado potential right now. If that changes, you know what we're doing. We're going to stay live with you the whole threat. This is what we do. This is why we do it, to keep you safe. That's why we're here. Asheboro, just rain at the moment, thunder and gusty winds. I believe our Grace Holland is also out in the field reporting on what we're seeing. Grace, tell us where you are in High Point, what you're seeing there, and what people are telling you.
Right now I'm here at the intersection of Baker Road and Kellywood Drive. This is Kellywood Drive back here behind me, just completely blocked by these giant trees. Get a look at the size. I'm actually going to walk back here so you can get a sense of how big these trees are compared to me. I'm about 5'6". You can see how high the debris goes. It goes all the way across the road, and these are massive trees. Now, my photojournalist Brent Patterson talked to a neighbor when he got here who told him that the wind, whatever it was that came through here, came from this direction up here on this hill and then came down. You can see there's some smaller trees blocking this part of the road as well, some trees that have been snapped. And if you come back around here to me, you can see there is a wire. I'm not going to get close to it. Don't know if it's telephone or whether it's a power line, but of course it could be live. We don't know at this point. That's just another reminder, if you're out on the road and you encounter anything like this, you need to stay away from any kind of debris like that. We do know that some city crews have been by. They have seen this. They're not on site right now. Certainly, I'm sure they are surveying damage right now like this, but this is just a really massive tree. And if you look back here, you can see there are also some people who are driving by here that are, getting a look at some of this damage. The wet rain and wind has pretty much stopped here at the moment. Skies have cleared up a lot. And I actually when I got here, I came from that general direction, and I did see, not quite to this extent certainly, but there was some smaller trees and some more debris along the road here. So it seems like these winds did continue down the road for some distance. But of course, this really is just some impressive damage that has been caused here. I'm actually seeing there's a pole back here that is also kind of leaning, just completely blocking the homes in the neighborhood that are back here from being able to get out this way. Not sure if there are other entrances to this neighborhood, but we're going to continue to get updates on the situation here in High Point, and we will bring those to you when we can.
Grace, thank you so much. We are continuing our coverage as our crews head out into the field to see some of the damage left behind by these very strong storms. Here is a live picture now. This is Whitsett. This is in Guilford County near the Alamance County line. You are looking at live pictures right now. You can see a tractor trailer has flipped on its side. As people are slowly driving by, you can see officers are out there assessing the situation. We do not know certain details of this, such as if anybody has been hurt, but we will be making calls and make sure to get you some information. But again, live look at I-85. This is near the Guilford County, Alamance County line as a tractor trailer has flipped at rush hour traffic at 6 o'clock. Right now, and also 6:10, I should say. Also, just a quick update, Guilford County now reporting 3,000 power outages according to Duke Energy, as well as another 2,400 power outages in High Point. Now let's get to the very latest with the storm. Let's go back to our chief meteorologist, Tim Buckley. I apologize, we're getting more pictures now from our WFMY News 2's Ben Briscoe.
Within the past few minutes, we have brand new pictures of damage from this storm. Take a look at this daycare bus just flipped upside down. This is in Burlington on South Wilmington and South Church near Garden Road. Thank you to Matthew Miller who sent that in to us. Now this shows the power of that storm. I also want to show you in Greensboro, they are dealing right now with some leftover water from all that drenched from the sky. Take a look, this is in Fisher Park. Normally it floods if we get some heavy rain, but this was fast. Just within about 20 minutes, they said it filled up in that area, and it's taking a while to drain off. Also, we want to show you another angle of that semi-truck that turned over on 40 East. Now that the storm has passed most of the area, if it is safe for you to send us pictures from your area, let us know. Just send them to news@WFMY.com. But right now, let's go back to Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley.
Hey there, thanks Ben, and really we're seeing a lot of damage. We hate to see all of this happening across the area, and just kind of recapping from what I've seen and what we've been talking about, seems like a lot of the damage coming in from the High Point area, but that same storm, we don't know how long or if it was on the ground for any number of miles, but from High Point, then southern Guilford, moved over to Alamance County, that same storm, that same one that was over by Lexington at first, now that's that same storm we're tracking up near Caswell County. There is still a tornado warning on that cell. However, important to ease your mind. If you are in anywhere of Forsyth County, anywhere for Davidson County, really almost all of Guilford County, you're clear. You can rest easy. It is not going to get worse for there. However, we still have folks in harm's way. Let's talk about the latest on this tornado warning, which does continue to ever so slowly move out of our area. This is the same storm that moved through High Point, and now it's over here. We're talking just to the west and south, or sorry, the southeast of Yanceyville right there. Plenty of rain in Yanceyville, but the circulation that's spinning is south of you. However, there are two of them. We've seen this a lot. One right here, one right there. Two areas of rotation in Caswell County, or one's right on the border of Orange. But that's why we have these tornado warnings, okay? Just south of Highway 158, this one as well. That's moving toward Roxborough. If you have friends, family in Person County, they are under the gun next. That warning goes for them. Let's sound some all clears for Alamance. I can't tell you everything's going to be fine right now. It's still raining a lot, but Burlington, it's not going to get any worse. Mebane, hang tight another 5 minutes just to be on the safe side, but you're going to be okay right after that. Graham, things should be getting better for you. Of course, it's still raining. Elon as well. Lots has been going on there. I'm going to load up here. Let's take a look, just to show our contrasting. Look at this. See Winston-Salem right now? The blue sky is coming out very, very clearly. Burlington, we're seeing on that camera, things have gotten so much calmer. You'll remember just a few minutes ago, we saw some incredibly dramatic pictures from that Burlington camera. And now everything is fine. The temperature is 61 degrees. It's not threatening whatsoever. So Burlington, the storm has passed you by. You've been through it though. It's really been incredible to watch over the last couple of hours. Let's take a look at our temperatures too. I show you this because truthfully, these thunderstorms that turned into tornadoes, they rode right along the warm front. That might not mean much, but what I mean here is you see how it's 72 in Siler City and 54 in Greensboro? This is the warm front. So what that is in weather, it's a boundary, and you're able to create more motion along those boundaries because the air converges. It kind of comes together, and that can force the air to go up. And on a day like today, when we have twisting winds, one wind going this way, one going this way, you're spinning. And when you create that spin, it can enhance the tornado potential. And that's exactly what we saw. It started down here, and then the storm, it likes to stay right along that boundary, so it curved. And it's still doing that. You see how the warm front goes up like this? That's why the storm is going up like that right now. But the good news is that you've cooled down quite a bit in these areas, so things should be getting better. Even Asheboro now, you were 70s before, now you're back to 61. So that's improving. In fact, take a look here. This is poetic. Just a second, we're gonna go to our High Point camera. Big rainbow right now in High Point. Lot of damage, but we have a rainbow now. Things will be getting better in High Point, but a lot of cleanup yet to come. This is live right now, so you're still having some rain happening. I got to give you the science here too. The sun comes through, it scatters that light in those little tiny raindrops, just like a prism when you're in school there. This is over High Point. Again, things will be improving, but that was a rough storm. Potential tornado in High Point. Let's go back to the live radar, and then we'll get back to more crews and damage and photos and all these other things that we're seeing from this storm. It's moving so quickly, and the concern that I had before, I said we want this to stay in a line, nice up and down, easy line. What happened is the storm separated. So we have storms that are separated like that, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the third and fourth ones, they have not produced any tornadoes, at least not yet. And okay, this one is a little more concerning. Down here, we might not be done with tornado potential for the day in the Triad. We're looking near Stanley County here. This is Albemarle, but right here, this is Montgomery County. El Dorado, Troy. Let's look at this storm a little bit more carefully. It's very warm there. You're in the 70s. There is some rotation, but not enough yet to prompt a warning. We'll have to keep an eye on that. That is something we'll keep an eye on, and it could maybe eventually eclipse southern Randolph County. There is a severe thunderstorm warning for that, but not a tornado warning. We'll keep you posted on if that changes. The National Weather Service is saying that it's possible a tornado could form in there. So we don't have it yet, but that'll be our next concern, really. Back to Randolph we go. It's still storming like crazy in Asheboro, but no warning here, and the storm continues to make some progress. Let's just switch very quickly. Yeah, we're good. Asheboro, you don't have to worry about a tornado with this storm. It's too messy, I think. A couple lightning strikes, though. Even when you get clear sky, you see this lightning bolt? It's about 5 to 10 miles away from the storm. So we call that a bolt out of the blue. You can be under blue sky, and that bolt can still come down. And really what happens, it's coming from the top of the cloud, and it can angle backwards. Very dangerous. So please kind of resist the urge to go outside there with that lightning still in the area. This warning continues for Alamance County until 7 o'clock, but I don't think you have a danger anymore. I don't think you have any danger anymore. Alamance County, the tornado danger in my mind really has passed you by. It looks like the circulation has moved out of your area. Caswell County, very shortly, you'll be clear as well. So I'll be checking up with the Weather Service to see if and when they do cancel that warning. Actually, they have. They just canceled the tornado warning for Alamance. So all clear for tornado warning in Alamance. You are good to go, but there is still a lot of rain. I'm learning more about that tractor trailer overturn on 4085 right by Whitsett. I believe we have Julie with more information.
Hi, Tim. Yeah, we are just continuing to monitor the situation over on I-85 and Whitsett. This is not too far from Red Oak Brewery. You're looking at live video coming in right now, live pictures, and you can see it's very slow going as there's a lot of activity along I-85. You can see that tractor trailer flipped on its side. Here we are at 6:18 p.m. This is rush hour. This is people heading home. Either they're trying to get to Alamance County, maybe they're heading to Forsyth County, but this is a very busy time of day. But live pictures as we continue to watch the situation unfolding as this tractor trailer at some point will need to be uprighted and brought to another location to clear up the roadways. All right, that is a live picture coming now from Guilford County. Let's now continue our coverage with our Chief Meteorologist, Tim Buckley.
Hey there, thanks Julie for that report. We're getting into the time here where we're starting to look and get more information about what happened. And we're going to focus now, I believe, on Alamance County. So I'm getting some information from our partners at the Weather Service here and just kind of passing it along to you. But it does appear there's some significant damage in this storm. Okay, and we're talking about that same area, the Whitsett area near the tractor trailer we were just looking at. Let's take a look here. These are a couple of different damage reports. I'm doing it the wrong way. Hold on tight. We're talking about this same area, Whitsett, Sedalia, right there near the Alamance-Guilford line. So what we're seeing here, this is near Elon, overturned and damaged bus. I think we talked about that already. Also heard about roofs off, this is new, roofs off of homes, houses, multiple trees down along Ethan's Way. So this is near Gibsonville. If you're familiar with Gibsonville, the Ethan's Way area, that's the street, I believe. Many roofs off homes. Clearly something big happened there to cause that kind of damage. Also checking our partners at the Weather Service. We always get new information from them. That report that I'm showing you right now happened at 6:07, so just about 15 minutes ago. Sorry, the damage happened between 5:30 and 5:45. That report came in about 15 minutes ago. Also hearing more about someone possibly saw a funnel cloud on the South Church Street, Forest Hill Drive area. That was in Burlington as well. Also heard of some hail, but plenty of damage being reported, unfortunately, in a wide chunk of the area. We've seen damage from High Point, now Burlington, also getting some tree reports from Randolph County near Jackson Creek Road. That's near Lake Reese in Randolph County. So a lot going on, a lot still happening with the weather, but we're starting to get into the damage assessment part of the storm event. The good news is Guilford County, you are clearing out very shortly, if not already. We talked about the beautiful rainbow that was just there not more than a couple of minutes ago. In fact, now that rainbow is gone, but the view is getting even better. Blue sky coming out in High Point. I would imagine Greensboro would be up next. Just goes to show you, we're starting to see the end of this. So right on schedule. There's your Burlington or Greensboro camera. If we can eventually, doesn't have to be right now, turn this around toward the west, we'll see that clearing happening in Greensboro as well. Just to reset, we do have tornado warnings moving out of our area. It's been canceled for Alamance. We no longer have a tornado warning for Alamance County. You're clear from that. Everything is good to go in Guilford, Rockingham, Caswell, you're almost there. Randolph, still watching these storms. We can keep a close eye, but we're still watching those. And Montgomery County, you're actually still in the thick of it. So the worst of it for you is happening right now in Montgomery. Let's get a little bit farther south. That's that latest storm. This is the one that we'll continue to kind of watch, right? So if you're in Montgomery, do want you to be very, very careful. This is near Uwharrie. We also have Troy, Mount Gilead in this neighborhood also. And we're talking about a lot of really rain at the moment. But what about the rotation? Let's take a little bit closer look. This is near Baden Lake, of course, too. Some spinning. This is not tight enough for a tornado warning right now. And my mistake, Mount Gilead is much farther to the south. That's not threatening you whatsoever. So apologies. This storm is moving though to the east and northeast. This one goes as a severe thunderstorm warning through about 7 o'clock. Be on guard for possible high winds in the Troy area. And eventually this will cross the highway. So Route 73, just north of Candor, goes between Randolph County and Rockingham down to the south. That's your highway there. That'll be where it crosses eventually. Farther north, again, things are looking up for most of the triad. Just going to circle back and look at some of our camera views. We're starting to see some of that clearing over Greensboro. It's coming slowly but surely. We will have a sunset most likely in much of the area. But a lot of your pictures are coming in. And if I could just give a plug here, I do want to let you know about a way you can send us photos. Only do this if it is safe. Right? So only do this when I tell you that you can. But if you have storm damage, you can text your picture to us. Want you to include your name and your location, otherwise we don't know where it is or who it is. But 379-5775, program that into your phone, save it as a contact, WFMY News 2, and just send us a photo and let us know what you saw, how you saw it, and we'd love to get it from you because it honestly helps us to tell our story about what's been happening in our area. This affects everybody when we have weather like this. Ben Briscoe has some of your photos that you've already been sending in to us.
Tim, people have been sending in so much stuff over the past crazy hour and a half. Take a look at this. Some of the most intense pictures we have seen. This came from Jeff of a tree that fell on a moving car as the person was driving. This was just north of the intersection of Edgemont and Liberty. Luckily, that person is okay in that car tonight. Also, storm damage from South Wilmington and South Church near Garden Road in Burlington. The power of that storm, Matthew said in this picture, it just totally flipped over this daycare van. We also have some of the pictures of the actual storm itself. At one point today, we just stopped in awe and looked at the sky cam from Burlington. Look at how gray it was. We also have from this the power of all the rain, because this wasn't just a storm of wind, it was a lot of rain too. Take a look at this from Lee Wims in Greensboro of it just flooding down those steps onto that deck. And we also have tonight pictures from Greensboro, people saying those storm drains, they just can't keep up. So where's the storm right now? Let's head over to meteorologist Christian Morgan.
All right, thanks, Ben, and thanks for sticking with us as we continue to track the severe threat across the Piedmont this evening. Just want to give you an update and kind of zoom out here on a wider view just so we can reset and kind of see what's happening now. What we've been tracking over the last few hours is this line of severe storms moving across the Piedmont. And what I want to go ahead and do while we can is sound the all clear for some folks, because we've been talking a lot about what's happening in certain locations, but there are some folks who are in the clear. So if you're west of the Triad, and really if you're in Guilford County, Rockingham County, Davidson County, Forsyth County, Stokes County, Mount Airy, the worst is over for you and things should be much more improved by now. Although things are improving in Randolph County, but you're still kind of under the gun with this storm, and there is still a severe thunderstorm warning that continues for Montgomery County, and we'll zoom in a little closer there and show you which storm it is that we're tracking. This is the system that we're watching here. It's moving right over Uwharrie, just to the south of El Dorado and just north of Troy right now. This is moving off to the northeast. It does have a severe thunderstorm warning on it, which does include Montgomery County. It also includes Randolph County. It's moving to the northeast at about 30 miles per hour. And I'll put a little storm track on here for you just so you can get an idea of rough arrival times. And you can see those right here on the right. So if you live in any of these areas, if you live in Seagrove in southern Randolph County, this storm approaching you over the next 20 minutes or so, moving northeast at about 30 miles per hour. I do want to check back in here and see, just check the rotation, check the spinning motion in this storm. It wasn't showing signs of great rotation in this storm. It is rotating just a little bit, but this is really just not strong enough for a tornado warning, so I'm not too concerned with that. We will continue to watch that though as we go over the next few minutes, but this thunderstorm, severe thunderstorm warning does continue for Montgomery County until 7 o'clock this evening, so for about the next 30 minutes or so. Zooming up here to Asheboro just a little bit. Asheboro, things should be improving for you. The worst of the rain, the heaviest rain, the gustiest, strongest winds are now moving to the east of you. But if you live in Coleridge, if you live in Ramseur, if you live in Franklinville, you still have heavy rain and gusty winds on the way to you over the next 5 or 10 minutes or so. But again, zooming out on a wider view, we have no tornado warnings that are in effect for the Triad areas. No tornado warnings remain in effect for the Triad areas. I know you saw that one pop up there. That's not for our viewing area, that's for the Raleigh area. Again, Greensboro, Guilford County, Rockingham County, things are improving for you and the worst of it is over. And there are some storms back up to the west and in the mountains, places like Boone, Blowing Rock. If you move up to West Jefferson, not really concerned about those. And also I want to show you just the difference that the last couple hours make. And if you'll bear with me here, I just want to pull up another map so that you can see this. And what I'm showing you now is our current temperature. So the reason, it's pretty clear to see here, temperatures are all in the 50s now. As the front has moved through, the line of storms has now passed us. But notice, still down to the south and down to the southeast, there are temperatures in the 60s and 70s. That's still very warm, very moist air. And as the storm line progresses to the east, those folks could still be under the gun for some severe weather over the next couple hours. But for the Triad, things are winding down, things are improving. And again, I want to pass along, if you have damaged pictures and you can safely take those and send them to us, it's a simple text to 336-379-5775, and it really helps us assess the damage and see where the most damage is as we clean up and this severe threat moves out of the Triad over the next couple hours. Let's go over to News 2's Julie Locke.
Christian, thank you. Glad to see that those tornado warnings for our area have expired. Now we continue to assess the damage out in the field. One area that has seen a lot of damage is Guilford County, specifically in High Point, and that is where we find WFMY News 2's Grace Holland. And Grace, I understand you had talked to some people in the area?
I did, and actually, as you said, things are starting to clear up here. The crews are starting to arrive to clean up. These are some crews from High Point here to clear this road. You can see the massive trees back here behind me that are blocking the road. There's some neighbors back there in that neighborhood who I saw were taking some pictures. I was told by the crews that they're actually probably going to have to wait a little while before they can start working on those trees. There is a power line that was pulled down, so they've got to wait until the power crews can get here to work on that first before they can clear this. But they did clear a smaller tree here, and I want to turn your attention here. There's some crews back here that were clearing some of the debris out of the road, and they've just checking on the situation here. Now again, this is Baker Road, and this it's at the intersection of Baker Road, I should say, but this is Kellywood Drive, and now you see the trucks are moving a little closer here to that giant group of trees that came down. Now I did, like Julie, like you said, I did talk to a neighbor just up the hill here. He came home to find all of this. Now his home was not damaged, his property didn't have any damage, but he says it missed him by probably about 70 feet between where these trees started to come down and his home. His mother, who lives with him, was at home at the time. She actually told him, "Are you sure you want to come back home from work, because the rain is really bad?" But he came home anyway. He was able to get home safely. She is safe, and they're just feeling very lucky that they did miss all of this. But he also said it just goes to show you never know where this damage is going to come from. Now these trucks, you hear them starting to back up a little bit. I was told by one of the crew members that they might actually be going to a different site. That's what I think is about to happen here, and go work on cleaning a different site up before they come back here. Again, that is because of these giant trees back here that pulled down a power line, and they've got to wait until the power crews can get here before they can really start working on that. We can try to move just a little bit closer here. And if you see, I don't know if, Brent, if you can show, there's some neighbors kind of walking around back here. They're not able to get out of their neighborhood right now because of this massive tree, and it's actually several trees, but particularly one really big tree that just came down right across Kellywood Drive here in High Point. We're going to continue to keep an eye on this situation. I also want to tell you, as you can see, things have really cleared up. It's gotten very sunny. I wish you could see it now, but a few minutes ago there was actually a full rainbow that stretched all the way across this road. I've got some pictures I'll post on social media for you guys, but really just showing, you know, kind of the hope after the storm, if you will, with at the same time as that rainbow went across the sky is when these crews started to show up. So the cleanup is beginning, and we'll continue to keep you updated on that.
Grace, thank you so much. Again, she was at Kellywood Drive, right near Baker Road in High Point, just one area that has seen some damage. Glad to see nobody was hurt in that situation. Glad to see crews are on the scene in the process of getting that debris cleared up. As she mentioned, those neighbors on the other side of the tree, at least glad to see there's progress being made out there in High Point. About 2,400 outages right now in High Point. We are continuing to get more pictures and more reports of damage. You are now looking at a live picture from Gibsonville. This is in Guilford County, in eastern Guilford County, and you are looking at pictures of neighbors walking around looking like they are picking up some of the debris that has fallen in your yards. Looking at that, the siding off one of those homes that has come off. There's some, it looks like maybe part of a fence that came down, and we are still looking at, look at this family. They have their trash bags out. They are walking through their neighborhood. They presumably love their home, love their neighbors, and they're going through and picking up garbage. So glad to see that neighbors helping neighbors. We've also seen shingles. Take a look at the roof there, some damage on the roof. Shingles as well off on some of the homes. Again, this is in Gibsonville. This is in Guilford County. Guilford County specifically too has about 3,300 outages. I'm sorry, Matt, can you repeat that? All right, so again, this is a live picture of Gibsonville. Specifically, this is Ethan's Way Road in Gibsonville, where you can see in the roadway there some tree limbs down, some can't really tell what that is. Is that a chair near that tree? I mean, near that truck, but look, you can see a lot of branches down and neighbors walking through the neighborhood trying to pick those. Maybe that is like a patio furniture that has blown into a front yard. All right, let's now continue our coverage with our Chief Meteorologist, Tim Buckley. I apologize, we're now going to Ben Briscoe with more pictures of damage across the Triad.
Julie, let's certainly hope that was some of the worst of it. As most of us are breathing a sigh of relief at this point, I have to show you this picture from in the heat of the moment. Take a look at Mark, what he was doing, holding his puppy over the shoulder right there in the basement in Greensboro, saying, teaching our puppy to shelter in place in downtown Greensboro. We also have to look, though, at some of the power of this storm. While most of people dealt with wind, others had rain. Look at this. This is from Natalie. She said, we camped out in the bathroom until the storm passed and recorded this afterwards near the Arboretum in Greensboro. It's like a lake in her backyard right there, and she is not the only one. Look at this. From Julian and Logan off Bimbo, you can see it's just completely covered in the street with water at this point. I do want to tell you, though, that this could have been a lot worse, and as a reminder of that, take a look at the sky. It's so black you can barely see it there through the TV screen. This was in Winston-Salem when the storm was passing through that way. We know you have more pictures of what happened today, and we'd love to see them if you can send them in safely. Just send them to news@WFMY, or just mention WFMY on Twitter and I'll go search and find it. We'll let you know what everyone else is sharing in a few minutes.
Thanks, Ben. We got a lot of damage out there. It's tough to see. It's been not just in one area, which seems to suggest that it may have been a tornado that was either long-lived or that kind of lifted and then resurfaced. That can happen sometimes. We still don't have that official confirmation about the tornado. You know how this works. The National Weather Service will go in, they'll investigate, and they'll confirm. But from the amount of damage, it certainly seems likely to me. This was that overturned tractor trailer in Whitsett. Mason Sumner sending me that picture on Twitter just a little while ago. But this is a live look. We're in downtown High Point now. You know, there's so much damage happening, but the sky has cleared. We have blue sky trying to return, and indeed it is much, much calmer. Temperatures are in the 50s though, so it's cooled off quite a bit as well. Now we're looking still in Guilford County, but a little farther up the road. This is the blue sky seen from Greensboro. We're looking off to the west now, so that blue sky will move your way. No need to fear about it any longer. I don't expect that it'll cause any more severe thunderstorms for Guilford County. Now, farther out, we look in the wide view here, still looking at that storm moving out of our area. Still have some thunderstorms in southern Alamance. Still have some action to track for you in Randolph County. But in general, this is how I see it. You're all clear to the west of that curvy line I drew on the screen. Still, though, I'd like you to stay alert if you're watching us on antenna in Chatham County, southern Alamance, parts of Randolph also. You're not totally in the clear just yet. You might not have a warning for your area, but you're still not totally in the clear. We do have some reports of damage coming in, some of those from the Whitsett area, of course. Let's get back to the live radar, though. That's the most important thing I can ever show you. And really, ignore that. That is not for this part of the storm. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning still for Alamance County. This is the southern part of the county. From Snow Camp to Saxbahaw, where you had a tornado not that long ago. I believe it was last year. Heavy rain for you at this time, but not seeing any rotation. I'm going to take a little closer examination near 421 from Liberty to Staley, closer to Siler City here. We're seeing heavy rain, no warning here. No rotation either. That's really great to see. Earlier, those storms were all spinning, but it almost seems that once that line passed by, the storms are not able to rotate so easily, so that tornado threat not going up any longer, maybe going down a little bit, in fact. Randolph County, Asheboro, you're still dealing with some rain, but honestly, if you're in Asheboro proper, right there along the highways, downtown, you're clearing out. The worst of it, though, is over by Ramseur with a lot of heavy rain, no rotation. It's good news. Coleridge, you'll get some heavy rain and lightning shortly. Severe thunderstorm warning. Why is that there for Seagrove? Well, we're still carefully watching this. Let me zoom in so you can see it. It's just pushed by El Dorado. It's north of Troy, and eventually it'll be moving right there by US Interstate 73, I should say, and 220. So there's the storm. These small ones can sometimes produce a tornado, especially on a day like today. It's not that hard for it to happen. But if we look a little closer, there is some rotation. Not much, but it is subtly there. You have that brighter blue next to the darker green showing some difference in the motion of the storm. Let me take a little bit of a different look. There's something to this, but it's not enough to go ahead and call for a tornado warning. But I'm just going to let you know, don't be surprised in Montgomery County, southern Randolph, if there's a tornado warning issued for you next. Don't be surprised. Make sure you're ready to go. Let's say if you live in Seagrove, Star, any of those areas, be ready because you're not in the clear just yet. Most of us are in the clear. You're not just yet. I want to take one more wide view of this storm. It's really been impressive to watch. The same system that brought 83 tornado warnings to the deep south yesterday. We're seeing that swirling low pressure area out to the west of us. We're finding the storm still pushing through our area, but dry air is starting to rush in. Tomorrow, we're going to get this chunk of the storm that brings us more rain. It could even mix in with snowflakes, if you believe that. In southern Virginia, northern North Carolina, we'll see about that. Something to watch anyway for tomorrow. That's all the radar I have to show for you right now. We'll carefully watch that storm in Montgomery County. In the meantime, Julie Luck taking over from here.
Ben, thank you so much. We are continuing to follow and assess damage in parts of the Piedmont Triad, including in Guilford County. Let's take you live back to Gibsonville. We have moved our crew to a different location. This is near Ethan's Way Road. That looks like a trampoline in somebody's backyard that has not only flipped, but has also fallen onto a fence. So you're seeing the damage in Gibsonville. Looking higher, you can see the tree branches have fallen, and also it looks like there's some debris that has flown through the air and ended up inside on the branches. As we're panning to the right, closer look, you can see even more damage. It looks like another fence has come down, a lot more trees and branches down in that area as well. We were looking at this live picture even earlier, just within the last 30 minutes. We saw a lot of damage from roofs that have been damaged during this. And what is that? Is that like a play set? Something in the backyard, an outbuilding, that type of thing?
But you're looking at live pictures. This is Gibsonville. That has fallen on its, maybe that was a tree house. But regardless, what you're looking at something that should not be happening right now because of the strong storms and the powerful winds that came through. Is that part of the roof, or is it maybe a slide or something like that? Regardless, you're looking at a lot of damage in Gibsonville. I was encouraged to see earlier, we saw a family walking through this neighborhood with some trash bags. They were walking through and picking up some of the debris. Now you're looking at a live picture of somebody who lives there carting along a trash can, and you can see that he's pulling up some of the planks from that fence and talking to some other neighbors, maybe other family members who are part of this cleanup process. But this is what we're seeing in many parts of the Piedmont Triad. We saw damage in Davidson County, we saw damage in Whitsett, we see damage right now in Gibsonville, and we've seen damage in High Point. Our crews are continuing to follow along and to assess the damage, and we will continue to bring you live pictures and also other pictures as well. All right, also an update too for some power outages. Guilford County, 3,300 outages, and High Point, about 2,500 power outages right now. Speaking of High Point, let's get another live report from WFMY News 2's Grace Holland, live in High Point near Baker Road. Grace.
Well, one of those power outages might be this one back here behind me. You can see these giant trees that have fallen across the road here at Kellywood Drive at the intersection with Baker Road. And you can see there are some power lines that were brought down when those trees came down. There's a power line that is leaning on the other side of the road there. And crews are out here. You can hear some of the backing up and things. They're just leaving right now. Some Duke Energy crews did come by and check out this scene.
Grace, thank you so much. All right, we thank you so much for tweeting us photos, sending us your reports of some of the damage or some of the pictures that you've seen as these powerful storms march through the Piedmont Triad. Let's get an update now from WFMY News 2's Ben Briscoe.
We're learning about another problem from one of our crews on the way to Burlington right now. Alma just tweeted out this video. If you take a look here, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see those stoplights are out. If you come across a stoplight that is out, it is really important that you treat that as a four-way stop. Greensboro police tell us every time this happens, there's at least some people that get in wrecks because they just don't take that pause. You don't want to be one of them. Also, we need to talk about the flooding, not just in Greensboro, but across the area. This is in Reedsville, flood conditions in Sherwood Drive. Thank you to the people who sent in this picture through our text program to us. As we look across the area, though, it is great to see some relief and signs in the sky that it is going to be okay. So, for the latest on where the storm is right now, let's get to Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. We're kind of on the same wavelength here. I've just been marveling at our sky cameras at the moment. You can really just tell it's a beautiful evening now in Winston-Salem, Burlington too, Greensboro, High Point. Of course, a lot of us, we've just been through some very stressful moments. Maybe it lasted for you for more than 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. Just kind of slowly going through my messages here. A lot of folks huddled up in their closets, in their safe places when those tornado warnings, and we've had several, have been moving through the area. Little reset, let's get you squared away with the latest on the storms across the region. Most areas are clear. That's good news. Most are good. But we do still have this line pushing through the kind of stubborn to leave southern elements. There's still a little bit there for you. Also in Randolph County, and still watching carefully that storm that is down in Montgomery County also. There's your heaviest rain right now, really from Snow Camp to Saxbahaw and parts of southern elements. Also Orange County. You know, we have some viewers there. You're dealing with rough weather there as well. Parts of Randolph, let's go back to it. I want to get to Randolph here. Bear with me. We do television, we do it live. We don't get to prepare for this. We just do it on the fly. And sometimes don't always look the best, but we're doing it on the fly. There it is. Your heavy rain right here is right there near Abner. So we're in Montgomery County now. The reason I'm showing you this storm is because I want to see how it's changing. I want to see if it's acquiring any rotation, if it's starting to become possibly something that could make a tornado. Right now, we're watching and kind of seeing that shape to the storm. It's not there yet, but it's close. We have that blue right up against the darker green, evidently showing us some of that rotation spinning, and there's some of this. It's not significant. That's why there's no tornado warning on it, but it is worth watching and keeping an eye on. So please take it seriously if you're in northern Montgomery or southern Randolph. That's why you have a severe thunderstorm warning. That's where it is. And we're really looking, if we can go a little closer, this is Highway 134. Fairly low populated area here, Highway 134, not a lot of city streets for us to show you, but it is close to Steeds, the small town of Steeds. That'll be heading your general direction very shortly. Zoom out a little bit more, and on a broader note, let's show you the overall system. This has been a big storm. And really, the triad bearing the brunt of the damage, it appears, in North Carolina. I'm pretty sure we've had the most tornado warnings in the state. Right here in our chunk, there were a few earlier today in upstate South Carolina near Greenville, Spartanburg. Now, the interesting thing tomorrow will be to watch this spinning low pressure area. You see that? It's very cold. So we're going to have a very chilly rain. It's even possible tomorrow. Let me show you. There could be a little bit of snow that mixes in southern Virginia and northern North Carolina. That's not something we often talk about after talking about tornadoes, but as this rolls away tonight, temperatures will slowly but surely be cooling off, and then by the midnight hour, we're cooling through the 50s. Rain will build back in tonight. It could rain hard overnight tonight with that low pressure system, but I don't expect any severe storms. It will be too cold for that to happen. By the morning, you're waking up to this, low 40s and a lot of rain. Friday is not a clear, beautiful day. We have that now. Tomorrow is not that way. It'll be nasty. Good amount of rainfall, and take a look right here. This is wild. I'm not sure that I believe it, but our computer model is trying to tell us that yes, indeed, middle of the morning, there will be some snowflakes that mix in with some of that rain. I can't completely ascribe to this here. It looks possible that you might get some flakes mixing in, maybe in the northeast quadrant of the triad. We'll see. It would mostly just be for fun. We warm into the 50s by the end of tomorrow. This storm is really potent, as I mentioned, and after we get that rainfall out of here, we will be left with a beautiful weekend. A lot of sunshine, but it'll be chilly. We'll have cold days for Saturday and cold days for Sunday. So the worst is over with us, but we are still going to be monitoring that storm in Montgomery County. I will be back with you if that tornado warning is issued. But as of right now, no need for that. We're going to go back to our Julie Luck, who has more news across the area.
Tim Buckley, thank you so very much. We continue to assess the damage in parts of the Piedmont Triad. We're going to take you live back to Gibsonville, where we are seeing even more of the damage in this area. This is Ethan's Way Road. You're looking at a huge tree that came down in somebody's backyard. Take a look at that. Oh my goodness. Not only the huge tree, branches as well. Kyle, start panning back to the left. I want to show the damage it did to that fence. All right, we are moving back left, panning to the left, and you can see that tree that came down, and you can't even see the right part of that fence because it collapsed as that tree came crashing down. Again, this is Ethan's Way Road in Gibsonville. This is in eastern Guilford County. Looking at even more damage that of more trees that have come down. You can see some of the debris to the left, but a lot more trees and branches that have come toppling down in this area. We saw neighbors out there cleaning up, picking up the pieces of their fallen down fences. Again, live pictures from Gibsonville. We have shown you over the last 2 hours of damage that has come in from all across the Piedmont Triad, and now we are going live to Archdale, and that's where we find WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey with more on the damage there. Jalen, what are you seeing?
Yeah, Julie, we're here in Archdale off of Main at the Motel 6, right by Business 85. We're here, and as you can see, we had some very strong wind gusts that came through here, knocked down this fence. This used to stand here and separate these two parking lots, and as you look, we got more fence damage here, leaning on this this line of some type. I don't know if this is power or phone. And if you could look and see here at this awning at this Motel 6, there's some serious damage here. The front door has been affected a bit. If we can get over there in a second, you'll see that. As you can look, the door has been pretty much blown off of here. And up underneath the awning, you can see things are hanging. It's not great. Looks like something very strong and powerful came through. And as you look up in there, you can see something happened. I don't know yet. We haven't got it confirmed as if it was a tornado yet. And if you can look across the street here as well, we got trees down, a lot of branches, a lot of limbs. We got fire, we got police, we got EMS out here. It doesn't look like we had any damage or no one injured, which is a wonderful thing. Love to hear that as always. But as you can see, something very strong came through this way. We're gonna head this way as well. As you can see, parts of the awning of the roof from this Motel 6 has been ripped off as well. We got more fences down. We had a couple cars as well. We're gonna get around this corner real quick. And we got several cars that had windows, windshields, seem to be broken out. I don't know what happened on that, if we had branches fall. You can see things a bit of a mess still. They've cleaned up a bit. We still got fire and EMS officials down here in the parking lot kind of addressing and assessing the situation. And if we look at here at this van, you can see that back windshield has been broken out. So like I said previously, there clearly was some strong winds that came through this way. We got trash cans knocked over. It's a bit of a mess out here, but we're working to clean it up.
All right, thanks, Jalen, so much for that report. And as we can tell, there seems to be a lot of damage in the High Point and Archdale area, as well as the Burlington, Southeast Guilford County areas as well. But take a look at our sky cameras now. You can see that the weather is improving, and it's actually turning into a pretty nice evening of weather. The sunshine coming out, and we've seen several reports, several photos that have been sent to us of rainbows across the area as the storms pull away and things do improve. Now, of course, we are moving into that time of the storm and time of the event where it really starts to become damage assessment time. And this to me is one of the things that stands out the most. We got this report, this is in from the National Weather Service, and we've also been talking about this over the last several minutes, that we do have reports of multiple roofs that have been blown off houses in Gibsonville. And that's along Ethan's Way, and we had a live report from there just a few minutes ago. And this would make sense. If you remember a while back, 30 minutes or so ago, we were talking about a strong area of rotation in Southeast Guilford County. We also showed you our debris detection tool on our radar that showed the different colors mixing and possibly some debris being lofted into the air. This would make sense. This was in the same general location of that we were showing you on the radar. So this very well could have been a tornado. Of course, the National Weather Service, you know how this goes. A couple days from now, they will go out, they will assess the damage, and then we will get an official report whether or not it was a tornado or not. But very strong indications of that were showing up on the radar as we went throughout the evening. Let's show you what's going on now. Zooming out on a wider view, here's the line of storms now moving away from the triad. This is good news. Things are improving. And again, I'll go ahead and sound the all clear for some folks in Rockingham County, Guilford County. Things improving for you in Asheboro and Randolph County, the worst of the storm near you. Everybody else back to the west, Forsyth County, Stokes County, Surrey County, Davidson County, you guys are all in the clear. Now again, if you live east of this line, if you live over towards the Raleigh-Durham area, if you still live in Orange County, Granville County, and those areas off to the northeast, you still have storms that are headed your way. You may be watching us in those areas if you're watching us on the antenna TV. Of course, I want to zoom in a little bit closer and just keep an eye on this storm down in southern Randolph County, moving out of Montgomery County. It still does have a severe thunderstorm warning on it, and that will continue actually until 7 o'clock. So about for the next 5 minutes, this is the storm that we are keeping our eyes on very closely. And again, we've been looking to see if it's been showing signs of rotation. It's spinning a little bit, but not enough to warrant a tornado warning just yet. And again, we're still looking at that. You can see where the greens and the reds are starting to mix. That would indicate that the storm is rotating some. It's just not very strong rotation or not strong enough for a tornado warning as well. But this is a different view. You can see those bright blues and the greens starting to mix a little bit. But this is not a tight rotation. There still absolutely could be some gusty winds in this. So this storm continuing to track to the northeast, now moving into more Randolph County than Montgomery County. If you live in places like Seagrove or right along that Highway 220 and I-73 corridor, this storm, the worst of it with the heaviest rains, the gustiest winds, are moving across your area now. Again, if you live in Asheboro, things are improving for you, and over the next 30 minutes to an hour, all of our area will be in the clear from any severe weather, and things will calm down as we go throughout the rest of the evening. Let's get over to News 2's Ben Briscoe for an update now.
So you were just talking about the storm in Montgomery County. I want to show you this picture from on the ground just a few minutes ago. From Thomas, you can see the clouds in Montgomery County looking drastically different than when they did in Burlington. Remember that just sheet of darkness that came over the sky? So it does look like the storm does seem to be weakening. I also want to show you progress is being made on cleanup already. Duke Energy is now out in High Point at those trees down, which caused about 2,900 outages in that area. They are already on scene, working on that, hoping to have it restored very quickly. And I do have to talk about, again, more flooding because we keep getting your pictures and video of it. This is from the Starmount area in near Friendly Center by Dana. And I want to show you, this car is trying to drive through it here, but look at the rushing water of that creek. We know it floods in this area every time it rains, but really that is a powerful video when you see it like that. If you have more pictures to send us, please do. We would love to see them. Just tag WFMY. Right now, let's get over to Julie Luck with some more updates.
Ben, thank you. Our crews are out on the scene checking out the damage reports that you have sent us and the reports that we've received from the National Weather Service. We want to take you back live to Gibsonville, where there's a lot of trees down in this area near Ethan's Way Road. You're looking at these live pictures right now. Look at all those branches, very large trees, all strewn all across this area. We continue to pan. We continue to pan left, and you can see that it just doesn't seem to end. Now we're zooming in closer. You can see some particles, some debris that has flown off from presumably some homes nearby and ended up in this area. We have seen several homes that have damage in this area, from the roofs to shingles. Also, we've seen neighbors going around picking up garbage and debris that has been a byproduct of the severe storms that have rolled through. Again, live picture, look at the sunshine. Here we have been for the last 2 hours showing you the strong, powerful storms that have rolled through the area, and now you're looking at sunshine. It's now good weather as people need to clean up their area. We will continue to monitor, and we will continue to respond to more damage reports across the Piedmont Triad. As you've been watching for the last 2 hours, our crews such as Grace Holland, who's been out in High Point, or Jalen Guilty, who has been in Archdale. You are looking at live pictures from Gibsonville from one of our photographers. This is Kyle Connolly, who is behind the lens. And you've seen numerous live pictures from all across our area. And you've been also watching our meteorologists. We have Christian Morgan and our chief meteorologist, Tim Buckley, here bringing you the very latest. We will continue to monitor this, and we will see you for more team coverage tonight at 11. And now we bring you Wheel of Fortune.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? Thank you, Jim. Thank you very much. Nice to see you all. I wish I could see you all.
No rap.